What is up, Jim?
Okay. I was doing too high for the fucking mic again. Let's
But
crack
you
'em
know
now.
what? You too high. You can't go for. What's up, beaters and beardettes? Welcome back to another episode of the Beardy Bros Broadcast. I don't know if that. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
So what's up, beaters and beardettes? Yes, another
That was
fun episode.
random.
I don't even know if it came through properly. I
I
think it
didn't
did.
expect that.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Always mixing up every episode. No two intros are ever
You
the
know what I'm
same.
saying?
No two intros? No one intro? No
No.
one intro is ever the same?
Actually, that's exactly right.
That is exactamundo.
Until we run out of ideas.
I don't think we could ever like get them exactly the
You
same
reckon?
each time though.
Oh, hell no.
So that's what I mean. So I got some guava juice for me at the moment.
Guava juice.
Nice guava juice.
Guava have that than anything else.
Hey, but Jim's cracking out the jokes before we get even anywhere going, and the legs.
Weird.
So another fun episode, another week of the podcast. It is as always
Yes, sir.
sunny side up in not Philadelphia. And born and raised on the border court. I spent most of my days.
The border court. Border raids on the border court.
It's the part where it's like the edging of the court, but not off field, so you're kind of in field.
Right.
It's the border court.
Border court. They were born and raised on the border court.
My mama had me there. I grew up there, and I left there.
Yes, Forrest. I was born on border court.
I was born in border court. My mom told me that border court was love. Oh, what a way to start the episode!
Oh,
Jesus
that round
Christ!
here is hard.
As always, we've got weird intros, don't we? So everyone, thank
Uh-huh.
you again, as always, listening and watching and whatever else you're doing. But as always, much appreciate you for coming by for another week. Woo! We kind of like done a double, triple, quadruple intro. I don't know, kind of built in. I don't
It's
even
been
know.
about 3 or 4.
I don't even know now. But anyway, it's been a week. I mean, it's been a kind of a cruisy week, ups and downs, here's and there's, twisty turns. There's a few
Twisty
things,
turns.
a few announcements, few reveals, more reveals. There's all kinds of things this week. There's things that have been released. There's things that are
Coming
coming
very
soon.
soon.
There's all kinds of things. So we're going to talk about a fine dandy of different stuff this episode, and we've got a little end episode on the end of this episode, which is not really an extension, but hopefully not extend it. Yay!
We're saving it to the end.
So save us the
That's
end.
what
So
we're
we'll give you the
trying to
heads
say.
up. It's going to be like a spoiler cast kind of thing at the end of the episode, where we're going to talk about Eternals and where possibly Eternals is going to set up for some of the future of the MCU predictions kind of thing, like where I've been watching and where I think it's going and what's been happening, what people may have been skipping, and a few things like that. So
Got one thing though. You can make one of them Eternals movies though, really.
in essence,
Which that was it.
So that's what we're going to talk about at the end of the episode. If you want to stick around, if you just want to skip for that, or you will skip if you want to skip for that, you'll catch that at the end. But I mean, we'll give you a heads up if you do want to avoid that at the end of the episode. We'll give you a heads up before we start that anyway. So if you just want to leave at that point, you can leave. We'll give you a spoiler heads up, and you just kind of like, bye bye guys, see ya, kind of thing, and then catch your next episode. Or if you've watched it, then
Bye
you can come
bye,
back.
guys.
I mean, even if you've watched it, you can stay listen. Or if you've watched it, like listen to this first, then go on and watched it, and then you come back. Go, hey, that's what we're here for. So yeah, so yeah, this week there's a lot of things that have been that have come out and announced and stuff. We've had State of Play start. State of Play started.
2 of them.
Yeah, there was 2 separate State of Play. So State of Play started with the reveal trailer kind of thing, I guess, in essence, or more gameplay. I guess.
You talking about the first one or the second one?
Well, I mean, technically it's both of them, really. But the first one that
No, they're
dropped
2
was
different days.
Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo 7. So
that looks so good.
Looks so
Like,
good.
I thought Forza looked good, but oh man.
Oh man.
Or
Mm.
I mean, it makes sense, but it's the racing sim, not
Yes,
like
it's
an
a proper.
arcade one.
Yeah, that's the
But
big difference.
do you see how many cars they had? Over like 400 fucking cars, and that's without the DLC cars they're
Mm.
bringing in. I'm
So there's
like,
a lot.
ah.
There's a lot this game's gonna be that's gonna be pushing, and oh, it looks so good though. It looks so nice.
I'm wondering if it's gonna have a VR mode like the last one.
I reckon they mostly will. I reckon they will, though, or at least bring it in at some point. They'll patch it in or something if it's not with it by
Because they
default.
haven't said nothing about it. So,
Mm.
and because Gran Turismo Sport was the only PS4 Gran Turismo, and that had VR, so
Mm.
maybe they might just bundle it in or
Well,
something.
I think
Or
originally I don't remember if the first launch of Gran Turismo, I don't think it had VR to start with. It was later on that they put it into it, and then every version on disc had VR compatibility from there on
oh,
in. From what I remember
wait,
personally.
so Sport never really had it. Let me have a look at
From what I
that.
remember, I think when it first launched, it didn't have VR compatibility, and then they updated it, and then they made it by default that it had VR capability. From what I
Because
remember.
when did VR come out? 2017,
Yeah, and Grand
18,
and Gran Turismo
17?
Sport was like almost a launch title, almost kind of thing, wasn't it?
I can't remember.
Thought it was.
Yeah, but let me have a look. Gran
So yeah, so that trailer looked really nice and
Turismo
sexy, and it's just weird.
Sport, huh?
Straight off, like into the new year, and we've already got state of plays dropping already. Like, it's just insane.
Gran Turismo Sport was 2017.
It was 2017 as well, was it?
Yeah.
It just felt like a lot longer than
Did
that.
that launch with VR though? Like,
I don't remember it launching with VR personally. I mean, it might have. It might have just been how they advertised it differently. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out, but nothing really.
Hmm.
I'll put did. You keep doing your thing,
But
and I'll quickly do
yeah,
the.
no. So yeah, already it's just crazy already that we've already started the year off. We've got state of plays like constantly coming now, like from Sony with all these different things. We've had the second one as well, and then who knows how many more are going to keep dropping. So there's plenty of them coming, and oh, it's insane. You find anything yet? You still looking?
They with that Gran Turismo one, that was like half an hour of gameplay, pretty much, like of
Mm.
just racing and features and stuff. But yeah, I can't see anything
Yeah,
playable in VR at E3 27. So it did fucking launch
maybe
with
did. Yeah.
VR. Okay. Because it was playable at E3 2017.
Okay.
So
In VR, yeah. Maybe it is just maybe the packaging was different. How I thought the packaging, they never really advertised it, kind of thing, as they do now, kind of.
I got it in my wardrobe because I bought it recently for like $9.
Yeah, if you got it recently, it would have it VR compatibility or capable or
I
something on
just
the
hate
top.
how they put PlayStation hits on the top of the case. It's like, I mean, I get it, so it's one of the biggest hits,
It's one of
but
the
like,
hits
you have to
titles,
put
yeah.
it on.
Yeah, it's one of the hits range.
Like, I want the
It's
original case now.
yeah. And then the second one they dropped, which was Sifu. Um,
No,
was the second? Oh, was the second Sifu?
Ghostwire Tokyo.
That's it, Ghostwire, and then it was Sifu.
That looked fucking amazing as well. Like, oh.
Yeah, I was trying to remember because
Did you watch it?
no, I haven't seen that one.
We could chuck it on the. Oh.
We could watch that in a bit.
We can get up the
Um,
gameplay at
mm.
least because it's only like 9 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Or
we
less.
can come back to that in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there was that sort of play, and then it was yesterday. I guess it was Sifu. Day ago,
I mean,
day
they
before?
did. It wasn't a state of play. They just dropped.
Kind of around with the whole state of play kind of stuff. Yeah, it was kind of late with
Because
state of
the
play. It was weird.
state of play was Wednesday. No, Wednesday, Thursday, wasn't it? Was it
Yeah, and it dropped Friday.
Tuesday? Tuesday, Thursday? I don't know.
Yeah, and they dropped that Friday on PlayStation,
Mm,
and then they dropped a live action short kind of trailer as well, short story.
right.
It's pretty cool. I
Which
watched
is
that. It's pretty good. So there was a few things that have dropped and they've dropped on. So it's like, ooh, so good.
I'm interested to see how Sifu goes because that's a unique game. Like death,
Well,
and you
it's
get
very
older.
indie. Definitely a big hype for an indie game for sure. Like, oh,
I mean, like more indie games should be big things like these. Like, if you know,
mm,
like I don't know, like because indie games somehow get pushed aside, and then you don't
yep.
even know about them. It's like, how
And
did
then
I miss this
and they're
10
some of
years
the most
ago? Like,
creative as well. Like they're very intuitive, like
because they haven't got a
ingenuitive and
publisher behind them. Like,
hmm.
let's say like an
But
Activision,
like they
Take
created some
Two.
new game mechanics sometimes as well. Like they're groundbreaking for the gaming industry, and It's just amazing what some of these games bring forwards. Like you think about some of the games that have been indie games that have brought things to the table.
Have we had a death mechanic like that where you actually age before in the game?
Don't think so. It's a twist on the respawn mechanic, realistically. So instead
Yeah,
of
but
being
like
respawn and come back, you come back right where you were.
your health, you get less health, but you get stronger. So,
You learn more skills.
which I kind of want to do a playthrough where I don't die the whole game, but I reckon it's gonna be hard.
Or I wonder how you go if you die, like, got really old at the start of the game and then plowed through it, how it would work.
You probably die easy because you got less health, but
interesting.
you're also stronger, so it kind of balances.
That's what I mean. I wonder if someone would, like, get
it's
themselves hurt
interesting.
and dead at the start of the game and then they're, like,
Like,
oh,
keep dying over and over and over and over.
and then they're, like, super powerful through the whole game.
Right?
Like,
It's kind of a game-breaking thing, really, when you
so
think
I'm wondering,
about
that's
it.
why I'm kind of curious to see what could come from that
Unless
game.
they've limited that, where you kind of die so much at the start or something.
You're a really old man, you're like, and you just have to, like, sneeze and everyone just dies.
I don't get it. Like, if you're that old, is it game over? Like, if you get old enough, is it game over?
Who knows? I'd
Like,
be interesting to know. That's what I'm intrigued about. Like,
and it just deletes your save file. It's just you got to start again.
yeah, hard mode, yeah.
You're fighting the last boss and you die for the last time. Restart the whole game.
I mean, that could be it. So,
Ooh, that'd be a good mechanic though, because it'll make you play smarter for
Yes.
one. It'll make you think more, like stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It's just something I would probably do to a game. Like, if you die so many times, nope, there goes your save.
is this? But yeah, so that's the start of it anyway for now of state of play, and who knows what else we're going to see coming.
Yeah, well,
so.
Sifu's out in 3 days
Yes, so that's not too far away.
on PS5, PS4, and Epic.
Yep.
Or Steam, Epic. I don't know.
It's on Epic.
Something.
I know it's on Epic. I'm not sure if it could be Steam as well.
It's known as Ghostwire Tokyo. That's on PS5 and Epic, not Steam. So
Epic seems to get a lot of the stuff though these days.
yeah, they probably bought them before.
But I guess it's maybe a deal
Steam
because everything's built in Unreal Engine these days. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'll say I was going to bring up
indeed.
something as well. Speaking of Epic, so remember how there was that feud going between Epic and Apple, and
Been over for ages, right?
then they kind of basically lost against Apple. Well, it picked up recently between Epic and Google, and basically Google lost. So it was
because they had no case anyway. Like that.
yeah,
it
it's
was
a similar
fucking
kind
Apple.
of like a similar kind of I guess situation.
They
between
wanted
both
the
those,
game up there.
But yeah, Google kind of lost against Epic in this battle, so kind
I
of
guess
funny
I
that.
wasn't trying then, because they could have won that.
Yeah, so I just read that earlier today, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was curious of what was going on. I was like, oh, that's still going on. That actually came up.
They've
again.
been done for like, since last year. It was all settled, and
Yeah, so that's why I was surprised that this came
Apple
up
got
again.
in big trouble.
So I mean, at the same sense, yeah, Apple was shown, other things, but at the same time, Epic wasn't dealt with the cards they wanted. But it changed the way Apple had to do stuff. So it's interesting to see what's coming from that now. So it's going to change a lot of things, and I think that's what's a shift in everything that's happening.
Trying to find these gameplay trailers in 4K. Oh, I found it. I think because does it give it a crisper image when you share it if it's 4K? I assume it would.
So here's a post I saw as well. I can't remember. With the whole Sony buying Bungie thing.
Yes.
So, someone tweeted out saying Sony revealed it had spent 850 billion yen, which was so it must have been where they were from, 7.4 billion of its allocated budget, leaving about 10 billion left for further acquisitions. What's interesting is that 7.4 billion investment also includes deals that haven't been made public yet.
Yeah, that's what Jim Ryan was saying about we got more to share about acquisitions and
yeah. So the fact that
plus 10 bill more, that's enough to
Yeah.
buy like a Ubisoft, a
yeah,
Take-Two, probably
so the
like
fact we already know
someone
they
like
bought
that.
Bungie for 3.6 billion or something like that.
They can buy pretty much Rockstar, right? Like out of Take-Two if they had enough, right? Like they could just take
Possibly.
Rockstar and go, we want yous. Stuff like that.
Most probably, but it's interesting how much they've spent already.
Right?
It's just like geez,
Crazy.
the
Yeah,
amount
well,
of money.
speaking of the Bungie stuff, Sony actually paid. I don't know if it's the employees or it was part of the deal, or it's extra 1.2 bill, but it's a retention incentive
It's like, yeah,
to
bonus
keep
point to
people
all
at the
studios, yeah.
studio. So
Hmm.
no one does that really.
No, it's just like, it's like
Sony's just
actually
like,
giving, actually giving staff
here's a couple of
bonuses, like,
mil
here's to the
per
studio, then you
person really,
disperse it through the whole team, you know, where it needs to go, and then get energy going
bonuses
already.
and wages and which because it worked out. They got what roughly 700 employees in Bungie,
Mm.
and that's roughly a mil for everyone.
Mm.
Plus whatever else, like some people get more or less or whatever, like
Yeah, depending
based
on
on their
position.
contract.
And,
But like that is worth staying for, like an extra mil at least. Like,
it's an
that's
incentive
your
so people
future
don't
set.
disperse and jump ship straight away. It goes, it's like, do I stay on and still get paid by a studio and get a bonus, or do I leave and go work with someone else?
I think that's
So
what they got bought
they're
though
trying to
for,
keep everyone on
to
board.
help,
So, yeah.
and that's what they're
So we're already
to
seeing
help
what
with
they're trying
other
to do.
games, and because they said they wanted 10 games by 2026 of live service, and they're going to need Bungie's help to do it.
So it's not and this is where people are getting very confused. It's not going to be Bungie doing all the work. Like, they want Bungie's help and input, which is going to mostly be directed to other studios, and that's why I think that's where the big thing is.
Because Bungie can get some of the story writers from other studios like Santa
That's the thing.
Monica, and they can help with like story stuff for future IPs for Bungie. And
that's the biggest thing, because we saw the tweets. So I saw the tweets definitely going through when the announcement posted that Sony had bought Bungie, and all the other different studios, Santa Monica, like all that, were like, "Welcome aboard," welcome, and they were like opening and greeting, going, "Yes, part of the family," kind of thing, like, "Welcome, welcome, welcome." So it's
I know
like,
Insomniac did a post as well, but I saw that one.
which you don't see that too often. Like, what ones have done it where that
Did
now
anyone from
Activision come across the
Microsoft
board,
say to Activision
like,
or Blizzard?
yeah, or
Not
even
even Bethesda got
yeah.
that, did they?
No one got any of that, but like, that shows you the difference between the teams, and it shows you that because they work, even though they're different studios, they work as a family. They're not against each other. Like, they work under Sony. They are that family. They're not trying, like, you've got EA trying to compete against Ubisoft, trying to compete against, Activision. Oh, we're a company, play our games. Like,
I mean, they do try and compete against each other, but it just makes.
But have you noticed though, they don't release their games around the same time? They try to actually go, here's our game this time. Here's your game for this window. Here's your game for this window. They're not.
No, last year was pretty fucking close between Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima.
I mean, there's going to be some time,
difference.
But most of the times though, they're not that close together. How often are they that close? How I feel anyway.
Usually
they're not
at
that
least
close.
2 to 3 months away.
So at least time. There's at least game time. Like, that's more than enough time to play a game.
Yeah,
fully.
well, we got Horizon this month.
Realistically, there's several hours. 60 hours. It's not going to take you that many months to play it.
And then the one after that's God of War, which that's probably in Holland at end of the year. So it's a big month, a big gap there. But then again, we've still got Stray, Ghostwire Tokyo, pretty much an exclusive.
But depends on
who they're
released
by. Sony themselves, but like that comes out in March. Sifu, that's another exclusive as well, pretty much.
But it's not a big title from one of the big studios, though. That's what I mean.
Nah.
Like, it's not. Santa Monica doesn't like to tip on Insomniac's shoes or toes, and they don't doesn't top on.
Yeah, but I've since I've been
Guerrillas.
following the actual studios' accounts on Twitter and that, the amount of love they show each other for every game.
That's what I mean. They really support each other. They really get behind each other. Like, that's gaming industries. That's gaming companies. That's how they should be. Like, supporting each other and loving each other. Giving the old little hugs.
We've been seeing some of those Kratos, the fucking gifts they've been making with Kratos and that for their posts.
That's what I mean. They're all like sharing the love backwards and forwards, the memes and everything they do with each other. It's just great. It's great to see, and that's what you want from companies, and the fact that they welcome Bungie aboard, and they're like,
I'm guessing that's how Bungie, because they fucking split from Activision 2019. That's a short break before they got done by. I mean,
luckily they got out of there though.
PlayStation.
Well, luckily Bungie got out of the way before.
I think they probably knew.
They knew what was going on, I reckon.
Which, to anyone who says that was in retaliation to Xbox, that wasn't, because it was released that they've been talking for 6 months about that deal.
All these things are planned ahead. These things that don't just happen.
6 months, though, that's a long time.
So it's all been there.
But still, I'll say it here. they're still third party, so don't
Mhm.
even comment nothing about.
Yep.
Destiny's still on all platforms.
Yes.
Um, future games are still multi-plat,
Hmm.
except I'm guessing ones that Sony pitched to them maybe, and
Like
then
they
they're
do the
it's exclusive to
exclusives. Yeah.
PlayStation. Yeah. Destiny 2 could be over 2024
Like
because
to
that's
stop
when the
working on
last
it.
DLC is.
Like stop
It
actual
said the
work,
last hope
like
or
making
something,
new stuff. Yeah.
and I think that's when the exclusivity might Sony might get some of that maybe for Destiny after 2024,
Hmm.
or it could be a new IP that they're
Bonuses and stuff
working
like
on.
that.
But
Even
yeah,
Destiny 3 or something.
which another thing about that is PlayStation is getting GTA Online for free
I
for
was going to talk
three
about that.
months.
I was going to talk about
Oh
that.
yeah, oh you seen it too, did you?
Yeah, yeah. So, another thing that I was going to say was as well, and again, we like to always stable. Bungie does not own Halo.
Oh fuck me, the man, I'm still seeing them comments.
Yeah, no, that's the next thing I actually want to talk about was the
Fuck.
Rockstars announcement. So, um,
Yes.
Rockstar put that out. So it was funny how when they first advertised the whole thing, where they were like, "Oh, you know, Grand Theft Auto coming to PS5," and there wasn't really any notice of what was going on with Xbox. They didn't really give any insight, kind of thing. Basically, all it's come down to is it's a 3 month exclusive head start over Xbox.
My frame rate. That was
I
weird.
know it's been a bit choppy.
What do you
So
mean by like the whole game or just the online? I think it's the online.
no, it's the whole game.
Oh fuck me, really?
Yeah. So here, so I've got the article here.
Do you reckon there's a thing going on there? Like,
Um,
I reckon they're gonna get bought.
So the post they put out 17 hours ago was,
To be
or
quite
maybe more than
fair.
that now, it was like 18, 19 hours ago. This is from Rockstar Games going, with the unprecedented longevity of GTA 5, we know many of you have been asking about a new entry into the Grand Theft Auto series. With every
Hmm.
new project, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we've previously delivered. We're pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in series is underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready, so please stay tuned to the Rockstar Newswire for official details. On behalf of our entire team, we thank you all for your support and cannot wait to step into the future with you.
I think it's not GTA 6 though. Like it's the next entry. Like it could be a not a mainline. I mean, it is. It could be like a
So,
Vice City kind of thing in that.
so here's the thing that came from that afterwards was for people who have yet to play Grand Theft. So this is an article someone wrote, but basically the information goes yet to play GTA 5. There'll be a standalone release of the game. This standalone version will be available for free for the first 3 months on PlayStation 5 for PlayStation 5 players.
Yeah,
So that's the game. That's the full game.
that's crazy.
And that's like
They'll bring more
3 months
players
free.
in.
Yeah, you play
So
the game.
then, wait,
So yeah. So
then they have to buy
most
it after
importantly,
that,
yeah. Well, that's exactly it. Most importantly,
which isn't a
Rockstar
bad thing.
confirms that Grand Theft Auto 5 for PS5 and Xbox Series X release date will be March 15th,
Hmm.
2022.
Yeah.
So that's the
Wait,
actual
and
game.
Series X.
Yep.
I thought it. Oh, it's only free on PlayStation for 3 months.
So it's dropping. It's dropping apparently together, but they get the free access for 3 months.
Ah, yep.
So that's
Yeah,
interesting that there's a deal there still with PlayStation.
it's crazy how it's March 5th. Like that's only just over a month
So
away.
you can tear up Los Santos in 4K at 60 frames. And that's apparently on
Hmm.
both consoles.
I'm gonna play it again.
So yeah. I think there was
'Cause-
extra content they might have been bringing to PlayStation that was exclusive from what I heard, like actual exclusive content.
That was
Um,
announced what a year ago or so.
So this would be
Because
interesting.
that's what they kept fucking putting on every state of play and shit. Like GTA 5's getting this. I'm like, we've seen this how many times? Stop putting it in. I'm guessing they're getting money from Rockstar or someone to put it in there.
That's exactly it. It's interesting though that they were talking about GTA 5 coming to like next gen consoles like for a while. I was like, I didn't realize it was going to be this close. I was like, oh, okay.
Well, it was meant to be last year until the delay. Meant to be November
But then they
when
put
the
the
trilogy was meant
yeah.
to launch.
And then the hiccup, I think they didn't want to kind of distract. I didn't. I feel like they
There was a
wanted,
thing about that.
I don't
The
think they wanted to do a
fucking
cover up.
Take-Two boss or someone called it. It was a glitch. What happened to the trilogy? I was like, that was a recent comment too. Like, that is not a glitch.
But it's like, I guess it makes sense
Those
because
devs are working on GTA 6 and that fucking trilogy
Yeah.
now. Like, well,
I-
mainly 6, but like,
No, I feel like for sure, like if they were to drop GTA 5 for next gen console, the PS5 and Xbox Series X and that, back then, it would have been like, oh, they're just trying to cover it up. They're just trying to cover up the trilogy was a mistake. So they actually gone, let's just leave that. Leave it and
Could
give
have
it a
done
bit
that
of
to the
gap.
trilogy though.
I know. But they'd already
And
released
released
it.
the same time in March.
They already released the trilogy ahead of time, and then they're gone, oh crap, we didn't realize, we didn't actually check.
Didn't they release that way early on like PlayStation or something?
Something like that.
It came in like a day early than it should have.
No, it wasn't on
That's
PC because
crazy.
Mules had it before it was supposed to be available.
No, I had it before Mules.
Or was it on PlayStation, or did you have it on PC?
PlayStation, because I can't get the
Oh, maybe
trilogy, the original trilogy.
Yeah, you
I
can't
wish
buy
I could, but they took it off the fucking stores.
But you've got the new definitive edition. Just definitively a broken edition.
definitively.
Oh
broken
no!
indeed.
Our GTA trilogy definitive edition. It's broken.
I'll play it eventually.
I want to get it, but I don't want to pay the full price for it.
Oh,
Unless they fix it. Unless they actually fix
I'll
it.
get the disc, but eventually. But because
was,
it is being patched now. Still, like they fixed a lot of stuff already.
I was really keen to get it, and I kept saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it." And then once I saw more and more, I'm like, "Fuck off!" And they pulled it and delayed it and fucked around. I was like, "Oh, fuck this shit."
It should have been remade for a start. That's all I'm saying on that.
It should have been, yeah.
Because they used fucking mobile ports. It was confirmed because
out of all
they
things,
tested
though,
it.
mobile ports, like fuck.
And the exact same things happened in the mobile games, not the console stuff.
Well, I don't know if you've seen following the little grapevine as well on Twitter. The little something here. The
PS5
Cyberpunk 2077. So yeah, so the PS5 and it looks like it's getting closer and closer to being released.
Yes, because it was spotted on the PS5, so I'm like, ooh.
So they're possibly looking at the next gen version will be coming soon.
I hope it's physical as well, not just a fucking paid upgrade or something. Should be a free
no,
upgrade
I think
if
they're
it
saying
is.
it's supposed to be. I think they're saying that it's supposed to be an actual physical copy. You can buy physicals, and you can
another steelbook.
I don't know. So there was talks that they were saying it was supposed to be actual physical copies you could buy, not just an upgrade.
Oh,
like you could actually have the option to go buy an actual version if you wanted to, so you could pay.
I bought it twice. I'm not. I'm gonna buy it a third time.
Otherwise, you gotta, I think, pay for the upgrade. It's like $10 usually for an upgrade.
It'll be free on. Just put it in the disc and upgrade. Like...
I mean, with everything that's going on, it should theoretically be free now. With all this nonsense that's happened, I feel like they should just do it for free, unless you want to buy a physical copy.
Yeah, look at fucking No Man's Sky. The same thing happened. Their updates are free. Like, they pretty much worked their asses off to bring people back in to play that game. Like,
well,
and now look at No Man's Sky. It's up here. Like,
oh yeah, and I've been wanting to try and get into that, but it's too late. I feel because there's too many other games now.
Not really. I mean, it takes a lot of time to do what you want to do now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I played on launch. That was horrible. I was like, yeah, let's buy this at $100.
I was so close to doing that, but I wasn't playing the PlayStation enough to go and buy it. So I was lucky. It was
only on PlayStation, wasn't it, originally?
Yep.
That was weird. Like, that's weird.
PlayStation launch exclusive for like a few months, like 6 months or something like that. Nearly a year or something. It was a while. It was a fair while.
I remember that day. I went into JB Hi-Fi and went, thanks. Got home and went, nope. I was like, yeah. My hype just went way down.
But like it's interesting that with Cyberpunk, like they had their whole roadmap, and that roadmap just like went off road altogether. What happened to them sticking to their roadmap? Like the DLC, they were supposed to be coming, all this extra stuff.
The higher ups who
like
released the game early.
They just gave up on the whole roadmap altogether, and they're like, what? Well, I mean, I guess they're working on getting the game fixed, actually trying to get properly polished now.
Oh, the next gen, that shouldn't have been released last gen. It just shouldn't have been touched for that.
Yeah.
Because that PS5,
oh yeah, I
was running the PS4 Pro version, which still wasn't the best.
Because it's supposed to be all those expansions and territories and stuff as well. So I don't know when that's supposed to be happening. If it's, I don't think it's happened yet. But it'd be nice to go back over and check out the game.
I want to get that last trophy.
Because it was a good game. I did enjoy the environment. I feel like
Story was a bit boring though.
I feel like I should just spend a day in oh, I forgot the name again. Night City.
Night City. Yeah, I'm thinking, fuck.
Spend a day in Night City and just drive around the set. Just spend a day driving around, just explore. I should do that. Just spend like a few hours just driving the streets.
Did they fix the rain this time?
I think that's supposed to be fixed.
Remember they had no rain. It was just Or I don't know what
That made no
happened.
sense. Oh, it was raining, but the grounds weren't wet. There was no puddles and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Mm. No,
That's weird.
I should just spend a day in Night City and just actually like explore the liveliness of the city,
I
like see how
tried
it is.
that.
I just cruise
The
around. I
map's
mean,
so small.
go just walk around everywhere and just visit places that you can't get into
I
because they
hope
say
the
door locked.
next gen version has all the stuff that was not
Meant to
all of it,
happen.
stuff that was cut.
Mm.
Because there's that open area, middle of Whoop Whoop, which got
It's just
nothing
empty.
there. I was like,
There's this whole area that's just empty with nothing. There's nothing to find, nothing to collect, nothing to interact with. Like there's nothing. It's just here's this whole
and the
portion of the
buildings
map.
in the fucking city, you can't go in hardly any of them.
Door locked. Door locked. Oh, I mean, I kind of went through one of them once. I lost control of my car and come up to the side, and I was like, "Oh, I'll step out my car," and fell through the door and fell under the map.
But they all said locked. And I'm like, well, you can't unlock them, so.
Yeah, what's the point of saying door locked? Why even have that function there being a text?
And yet,
Like,
Dying Light 2, every building can go in there.
And that's another
I've
thing.
seen that, and that game looks so good.
Something to talk about that dropped this week. Dying
Yesterday.
Light 2. Woo! I don't know. I just wanted to go.
Yeah, I'm so keen. I've been not watching the game. Spoilers. I don't want to watch any of the
Gonna
game.
spoil it.
I've been watching little clips, like little snippets of people playing.
Yeah.
That game's 500 hours, so I'm good for spoilers.
Oh god, are you serious?
They said to do everything 500 hours.
Ugh, that's a lot.
I'm fucking doing it.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, well, also they've put out a roadmap for the first year. That
Yep.
is fucking packed. Let me have a look. You say something, and I'll get the
what's the
roadmap
date
up.
today? It's the thing. So that was last week that Pokemon came out. So that's been doing pretty well in sales at the moment. A lot of people have been buying Pokemon still. And more and
The
more.
game looks pretty cool.
A lot more stuff coming out. Like everyone's more and more now starting to notice too that it was definitely feeling like a game that should have came out 5 years ago. Definitely
What
more. Acarius, Pokemon Legends, Arceus,
Oh, Arceus.
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 Yeah, it's definitely like it's like a
Okay.
game that should have came out 5 years ago. More people are starting to be.
Okay,
feeling
so I've got the roadmap here.
But it's a good game.
In February, well, you got the launch and the faction-inspired free DLCs. In March, we got Set of Challenges number 1.
Mhm.
In April, series of events, Mutated Infected. In May, Challenges number 2. In June, the first story DLC. And the future, 5+ years of support,
Mhm.
which is second story, new weapons, new enemies, new stories, new events, new free and paid DLCs, and much more.
Yep. Well, actually, I
'Cause
heard.
the-
What's that? There's all the DLCs and
because
stuff.
just before that launch, Dying Light, the first one, still had live events going and everything. Like,
I think that's why the 500. I think that's where the 500 hours comes from. Is all the like live events.
no, that's
constantly
just the
living.
base game, I think.
Well, I'm hearing from some people that people have already finished the story.
Well, that's not the whole game though. You still got
That's
all
what
the
I'm saying.
side stuff, collectibles,
Because a lot of people are saying that the story is
exploring
very.
the map, like everything.
I think that's what the whole point of that game is. It's not just the story. It's the rest of the game that has
You do the
everything.
side missions; they're a lot more interesting than the main game. Like,
Because I heard from some people saying that the campaign's pretty lackluster in story substance. Like the main
It
story
is.
itself is pretty bland. But that's why I figured it's
same as
more,
the first game.
it's
Like,
meant to be not about just that. It's meant to be as a whole. Like the game as a whole is meant to be everything.
the gameplay makes up for it.
It's something that you keep playing, coming back to playing, and keep, and you can leave it and come back and leave and come back. Like it's a constant.
Apparently, there's hundreds of side missions. I'm like, okay.
So it'd be interesting.
Well, I
to see
just
how that
finished
goes.
Dying Light 1. My whole side mission stuff had like 30 quests in there, still haven't done.
That's I feel like it's good to have games that have a lot of stuff, but then I always find there's either too little or too much. You need to
Yeah, but
find
you
that
can
nice
just stop
fine
that
line.
game after the story, though, and be done. Like,
Yeah, but it's kind of, I mean, it gives you room to still come back and play it. So it's not
Yeah.
just like Halo.
if
like,
you want to finish it. Yeah.
like Halo, where it's like an semi-open world kind of open world game. Like I've done everything now. Like there's not much really else to do except for get.
Can't
the
do nothing
collectibles.
else there because it's such
Like,
a
it's
very
done.
tiny fucking map. Like,
Oh, it's not massively tiny, but it's not big either. But
what
'cause
are
I-
the, it's
it takes a fair while for me to track around that
it's a
map.
fucking
But the
Dying Light
thing is, there's
1
not
was
much
bigger
else
than
there.
that, and that's a small map. Like
Because
that's got 2 different maps too. Like
yeah, well, it takes me a
three,
while to get
actually,
around Halo.
technically
So,
3.
but like I was saying for
Really,
example, as
I
a
did that
game,
in like a couple of minutes, just one side to the other. It felt like,
no, it takes a while. Depends on what you're going through.
although I
Um,
still hate that game. So
but like I said though, like once you've done, you are kind of done. Like that's the thing, I guess, with some games. Like once you're done,
yeah,
you're
because your
done.
targets are one and done.
There's
Like
no, yeah, exactly. Like you've done
there's no
everything. There's nothing
live
collectibles.
service part about it apart
There's
from the
no
multiplayer.
like where you got the fobs. Like if they made the thing where the fobs were reclaimed back and you had to reclaim them again, like that would be kind of like an active kind of thing,
Yeah,
like Far
like
Cry.
Far Cry 4.
Mm. Or they had
They used
or they
to.
had random enemy leaders pop in, not just like here's the select 15 you had to take out and that's it. Like have more spawn back in and take out new ones you keep discovering. You know.
Like, Far Cry 6 has done that. Like they've got the insurgencies
Mm.
where every week they get a new boss,
Exactly. Have an event.
and they. I just the game shit the bed. It's still way too early. It shouldn't have been released then either.
So yeah. So it's interesting. It's just like okay. So I mean there is room for DLC for some games, but like it's in that void where do you give too much or give too little? They've like Halo, in instance, gave I feel like too little. Now no one's like they want people to go. Oh, here's the campaign done. Okay, now you get to play multiplayer. Well, not always everyone's want to play the multiplayer. They people like
Not
their
when it's broken
campaign.
like it is
Mm.
for progression and
Yes.
even those
Slowly
fucking
fixing,
decals
and a lot of the big fixes aren't coming till
till
the next
May.
season, season 2. That they're dropping big fixes. Like what? Like you're gonna wait that long? You're
So
gonna
you got
push
to
a
do
lot of
is
people
just
away.
tweak the sizing of
Like
some. Thing. It
like
takes like someone
Fortnite.
said it takes like an hour.
Anything goes wrong, they're straight on to fixing it. They go, okay,
Yeah,
okay, so
because
it's
they
gonna go down. We're
care.
gonna fix it up, and then we'll get going again. Like they're constantly always adjusting and letting people know that things are broken themselves, and going,
Hmm.
hey, this is broken. Be aware of this. We're gonna fix this. Okay, we really need to fix this. We're gonna put servers down for like half an hour, or something like that. Okay, they're back up. You're ready to play again. Like they're constantly working on their game.
Because they
They
care.
need to get onto it and improve it. Like because, and that's exactly
How
it. Like
many
people.
developers does 343 have? They don't
I
have
don't
a
know.
fuck ton of developers.
They got to. They made a whole game. Like plus managing the content.
Because who
But
does
whoever
Epic
this,
have really like working on Fortnite? Probably sweet fuck all compared to a
who
lot of
knows?
studios.
Who knows? I mean, the size of
Not
money
good
they
with
make.
that.
It'd be interesting to see with what's the Fortnite team, I guess, Epic team. I don't know. So there's a lot that goes on. It's interesting to see compared companies like how they handle and treat
Okay.
everything when things happen.
As of 2016, it was 450 employees at 343. That's probably double that probably now.
Double or
Maybe
gone down.
yeah,
More
well,
or
a lot of
less.
people left, didn't they?
I think it's either more or less. Who knows?
What are they
Now we've
called?
doubled.
Employee. I'll go try and go 2021. That only shows 2016, 450. But like
Oh
that-
my god.
one person who does that work can just tweak the decals.
That's where it was in the first place. It was one person who would have made that decal to put it installed on the thing, and he fucked it up by a decimal point, which shifted it over.
More than I've seen the gap was like that fucking big.
No, but that's what
on
I'm
some of
saying.
the
That all it
helmets.
is just keybinding where it's supposed to be centered. That's all they need to do.
Oh,
Just go
yeah.
back in, keybind the centering of where it's supposed to sit in line, and that's it. But no, they fucked up the placement point. So dumb.
It,
And still expected people to buy that stuff. It's just like,
it's just a cash cow
but
for
like,
them. That's all
you
it
can
is.
see it from the get go on the store. Like, take the item off the shop. Like, as soon as you realize there was a mistake, take it straight down. Like, the fact that people bought it though, like you could see that's clearly not centered.
I just read what their thing says. 343 Industries is home to the Halo universe and to a team of talented people. Talented. I'm not taking digs at them though, but like, you see what they've done to Infinite.
Exactly, like using these words.
If we go by that, that would have been discontinued. That was Sony. Like Days Gone 2, that would have went. Nope, just cut it. You're not making it. Like that wouldn't have passed getting released. I don't think.
Well, being the fact that it's actually off a franchise, they mostly would have released it. But being part of a franchise because it's like an
Yeah, but Dying Light was Dying Light. Days Gone was going to be a franchise.
But it was the first. See, that's the difference between Halo Infinite.
That's still better than Halo, I think.
Yeah, no, but like Halo Infinite is the 6th, or not even the 6th. It's
Yeah,
like the 8th game in the series, where Days Gone was like the first game of a franchise. That's the
There's
problem.
potential with Days Gone though. There's
I
not with
know,
Halo
that's the
anymore.
sad part.
Like,
It's the after the potential, but like I said, people will invest money in something that's already been established over a
yeah,
game that's
I think
trying to
no
make
one bought it
establishment.
though. It's all Game Pass.
Yeah. Well, it's like the thing I showed you too, where they said that
The fucking numbers.
the 80 something copies were sold, but yet there
80
was
million.
yeah, and then they're like 20 million players. It's like, what? That doesn't add up. You're saying
Over half have just left.
like
No, that's 3 fucking quarters just
half?
gone.
Yeah, where's your maths at?
No, I said over half.
Yeah,
But like, that's 3 quarters just like,
yeah.
bye.
That's
That's
weird.
not
It makes
good.
no
Why would you
sense.
share that?
The math doesn't add up. They're like, yeah, we got 20 million players. But then you look at when you first had it, like the year before, like 6 months before,
Yeah.
it makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
I mean, Gear
That's-
6 this year, getting a release. I mean, a teaser,
hopefully.
I think, or a reveal.
Hopefully.
E3, baby.
E3, baby!
That's not far off when you think. It's already Feb.
Yeah.
3 fucking months. We could be seeing Gears probably for at least end of the year.
I know, we're in February already.
That's weird. Like I said, I'm like, it's already February. Where the fuck did that first month go?
It's scary once you can actually staple each week with an episode of the podcast as well. If you actually think about it, because you're giving yourself a goal at the end of each week, your week goes by even quicker. If we didn't have this podcast, I reckon each week would have felt longer. But because we've got it every freaking
because
Saturday...
everyone said it's taken so long. I went, nope. It's already Feb. Fuck.
Yeah, this is the first episode for February.
Oh,
It's crazy. Fucking crazy.
I mean, you can't change it.
No.
I would not want to slow it down, though.
But anyway, we're gonna. You got any other news? You got any other news you want to talk about?
Oh, I
No
do.
news? What do you got? What do you got? I want to hear this news.
This is about
sort of
Bungie as
topics.
well. But Sony wants to help them make Destiny movies.
Yeah.
That was another reason.
And being Sony for, like company as well, like. Like
Well,
Sony,
it's only fucking Spider-Man, like, and being
Uncharted.
Destiny, that's got more. That's a whole new audience.
I'm
Like
guessing,
that's a
The Last of
gaming
Us
audience as
Sony
well.
would have had their input because it's Last of Us. Like things like that, they can get TV
Yeah.
shows, movies, and these like big budget movies.
That's the thing, like, because Bungie said they want to be a global like
Entertainment.
thing,
so like
movies,
merchandising,
TV,
games,
Sony,
TV shows, movies,
gaming themselves.
like everything. Merchandising, like proper merchandising, like really.
Well, they can do it themselves too, really.
Yeah, but they want the support and actually get everything outreach out there.
Mm-hmm. I'm just excited by what's happening now. Like, oh man,
And that's exactly
and
why they want
imagine
to
a
partner with
Bungie, like a Destiny movie, like. Oh.
TV series. Ooh. Do
Give
so
it a
much.
movie though, like straight up just action.
But even
and
that,
then...
like even whatever else they decide to go with, they could make a new IP TV series or movie even with Bungie. Like,
well, that's the thing. Like they got new IP they're working on, so
they could make a whole new IP and not make it game based. They could make an actual movie as a new IP. Let's go. Hey, let's make this. We've got this idea, but we want to make a movie. Imagine they could technically do that. They could push proper.
Oh god. But
Proposition.
But I mentioned Cyberpunk. Get out of there. We mentioned this off potty, but the Activision Blizzard Microsoft deal is being reviewed by the FTC right now, so that could or could not go through. So.
I think a lot of things because big money that's being spent.
But fact, to make it fair for
that's what I said.
Everyone,
the fairness, and I think also because the accusation charges that Activision is going through as well. I reckon that might have a big thing as well.
The fair for Nintendo.
I reckon they're going to be
PlayStation.
covering everything though. I reckon these guys are going to be covering everything because you got to think about. It's not just gaming for the people. I reckon it's for the staff as well.
Oh yeah.
Because you got to make sure the misconduct isn't going to be transferred across. That they're clean house.
Well, didn't Bobby Kotick get fired?
I'm not too sure if he actually ended up getting fired or not in the end.
So I haven't heard nothing about him since.
I haven't heard people talking about it. That's the thing.
Oh.
Which is interesting. Usually something like that big would be talked about and like really like memed about. Or I haven't seen any memes or anyone talking about it. Nothing. So,
I think he's just gone.
Like under the rug, kind of. Oh, let's just not say he's been fired, but like
He wasn't mentioned in any of the posts either between them. And he was the CEO, like, and he wasn't mentioned anywhere. So
it's interesting.
It's not looking good for him.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's getting reviewed for just multiple things. Also Rambo's in Far Cry 6.
Okay.
They had Danny Trejo, now they got Rambo.
Okay. I mean,
They had
Trejo was
Predator
a whole
and
new.
Wildlands. Like Ubisoft are just getting everyone in for like
Well,
making.
because there was actually Danny Trejo like playing himself, kind of thing in the game.
Yeah,
But then
he was
Rambo, like
he,
having a,
he was cooking a barbecue while he was getting attacked.
but then having a like a real person and then having a fictional character, like what?
Yeah, he actually made a machete reference in there as well.
Mm.
It was more of like he was self-aware, like he was cocky shit too. But yeah, that's in there now. I think
So
so.
that
You can
means
do
Rambo's in
missions.
that universe then.
Hmm.
That technically makes
With Danny Trejo.
Rambo part of the Ubisoft universe, and the
Yeah,
Terminators are part of the Ubisoft universe.
yeah.
So if you were to put all the
So
Ubisoft games together in the
plus
Ubiverse
the Predator.
canonverse
So they had Rainbow, the Predator,
and
fucking.
Terminators,
Oh my god.
so that means all these exist in the same universe. What's
Yeah.
next? We're gonna get Alien.
Was that already a thing?
Which one?
I don't know. Um. Also, I found out today that Spider-Man: No Way Home, the DVD, has 100+ minutes of bonus features,
That's a lot of bonus features.
bonus footage, not features, like footage, like deleted
Gone-
scenes, and
Yeah.
which they said could be
Alternate
more of the
cuts.
crossover stuff that was cut. So,
Mm.
because apparently,
Extended scenes, gag reels.
Mysterio they had art for him, so
Mm.
that could be in there with Gyllenhaal was Mysterio. Who fucking knows?
Come back as Mysterio again, or it was extra scenes they'd filmed for other backs.
It'll probably fill in more of what was meant to happen because it was meant to. All
They'll
them
extend the
villains meant to be
story.
right at the end,
Yeah.
but they were in from the start. Well,
They
near
cut
the
'em off.
start.
Mm.
That's just weird how like
Can't wait
Doc
for that
just
to come
showed
out,
up
like-
one day. It's like,
Can't wait to buy that on
hello.
Blu-ray. I'll buy that on Blu-ray when it comes out.
Right, I've got my steelbook. Comes out March, I think.
It's not too long away then.
Nope, next month, man. I can finally fucking watch it. Good
Go watch it.
quality.
Yeah, you can watch a good quality. On the
No,
medical
like
lens.
4K quality.
Yeah, it's.
The way movies should be watched. Can't watch 1080p or less anymore. I hate it. It's so fucking blurry.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, but Ghostwire Tokyo, March 25th. That's the last thing I got there.
No, that's not too bad though.
No, that game looks so good. I got all the 2 trailer stuff just chilling for when we.
Actually, I don't know if it's this week or was last week. This week,
What?
last week was talks of it. I didn't bring it up last week. I think it was kind of going on last week, but it's happening this week. So, Spotify making a few changes to its services on how content creators post content. In the sense of topics they talk about. So
Because of the COVID stuff in Joe Rogan.
yeah, so I don't want to really bring it up directly because I don't. I think we could end up in that category.
Spotify can do what the fuck they want.
So we're gonna end up mostly in that category, possibly. Who knows?
Good.
Hey, maybe we'll get a different algorithm.
Right.
We get up there in the algorithm with Joe Rogan.
I just think if people got if they get salty at you, you're doing something right.
So that's what I mean. Joe Rogan was just doing it's like anyone having a podcast like we do. Like ours is a little bit different. We have we discuss our news and stuff as people are aware.
But we
talk
got
about it, and
opinions still.
we have our opinions to share about what we think, and maybe we don't have the opinion.
That's right. He's got opinions. Who cares?
Exactly.
You don't have to agree with it.
And that's the thing, and each podcast is different as well, because some people go, "Oh, well, your podcast," because I've talked to some people about how podcasts and how we do. Everyone's podcast is different as well, and how they want to talk about.
There's no
news,
two
whether
the
it's
same,
health news or not, or gaming or. It's freedom of speech. Like that's the whole point of podcasts, really.
I mean,
It's
we're
freedom of
specifically
speech.
gaming, but we can do everything.
We do. That's going to lead up to another thing. But yeah, so it's interesting that all these artists were having a whole falafel going, "Oh, you're not going to do it. We're going to take ourselves off Spotify." It's they're basically going, "Fine, you do that." Without really doing it. You can do what you want.
Spotify don't lose anything.
No, it's what they our platform is our platform for what we are trying to do with it.
More
That's
people
best
leave, more audience the other people get who should be
And the
getting
thing is,
it.
people have been complaining about it. They wouldn't ban Joe Rogan because it brings clicks to the platform. Enough users listen to them on Spotify that it's giving more
So
advertisements
he
running.
did nothing
and more,
wrong.
He didn't anyway. That's the thing. Like that's
Like,
that's exactly it. And they're trying to stay out of a political standpoint, but not taking either side. They're not taking his side, and they're not taking the artist's side. They're just saying,
yeah,
"This is
because
how
they
he do
said
it."
to
It's a
the
beautiful
artist, you
point.
can remove your own music if you want.
Yeah,
They didn't say we're taking it away. They
exactly.
said,
Exactly. The artist chose to that. We do want to have their we don't want to have our music on this platform. If you're going to support
yeah,
this, like, well, we don't really support anything. It's a platform to do what you want with. It's to share
same as YouTube.
music and stuff. Like, yeah. And but now they just have to put a warning at the like a heads up at the start of the like like anything these days, which is basically any post you see on Facebook is all sometimes
Or
on YouTube, which
Instagram
gives you
or
that
something.
whole
Got
like
that little,
this is
disclaimer.
and I like how the Facebook one a while back came out saying that the whole false news article thing, or like this whole basically propaganda Facebook was pushing, that saying this is all false information, but warning, they actually had to change how that's worded now, because basically it was just being put there, and that was basically creating false news by going, this is what, this article's, how do you know, like, so it's crazy. So it's just a change field that we got to, like, this is again.
Hey, no
it's
one can
tippy-toeing.
listen to every fucking episode of a podcast.
No, but like again now, it's tippy-toeing again. It's another thing that's been basically trying to be gatekept, because people can't talk about things and have a freedom of speech to talk about things.
I gotta say snowflakes, but fuck.
I mean, kind of, basically.
Like, I don't agree with you, so you suck. Like I said, Daz loves Halo. I don't like it. Doesn't mean I go off at you for it. Like get him off the podcast.
Not like I'm gonna go for you for hating the thing. It's just like at times, like I do agree where you're coming from. Like I understand where you're coming from. I can understand your viewpoint. It's just
Like we don't care. It's an opinion. Everyone's got one.
That's why I'll have a bantering discussion and call someone a dickhead about their choice. But then it's like, but that's because of that topic. Like as a whole, I don't think of that. But as that topic, like. It's just part of a discussion we're having.
If there's no valid reason as to why, then it
means
pointless.
nothing. It's just a discussion. Like that's how I see it. And some people don't see it like that. People don't understand discussions. Like it's just a topic.
You can't deal with idiots.
About. So I mean that happens with people all the time, trying to explain like what's good
just
for.
Called out so many people.
But that's the thing though. Like what's good for some people isn't good for others. Like what's good, what they like, that's what you like. That's your opinion, because that's what choice of what you like. Like listening or doing, or like the people that listen to us or don't listen to us. That's again the same option of what we talk about and what we agree about, like and what we don't agree about. Like it's just amazing some of the hypocrisy people have. It's just like the same thing you're doing is what they're doing. Like it's no different. Like you're all the same.
The people who complain about that probably pawn off the complete opposite and think someone else should listen to that.
Exactly. So it's all the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it. Like that's like me. Like I made a post because I didn't enjoy the Encanto movie, the new Disney Encanto. I personally didn't enjoy it. I felt like it was ripping off a lot of Disney things that have already happened, and they're trying to rip off those key moments.
They're just repeating things, just different painted.
And trying to use all those key moments from other things. That's how I felt. Again, see, that's how I felt.
They look the fucking same.
And other people are like obsessed over it, and people are oh, it's the best movie. And it's like, oh, it's better than Frozen. I'm like, well, that's your opinion. You can be wrong, or I can think you're wrong, but that's my opinion to think you're wrong, not that it is that you're wrong.
They call it the best Disney movie, though.
There are people that are saying it's better than Frozen, or it's one of the best Disney movies, and all this stuff. I'm like,
have they not seen Milan, Hercules?
Right?
Like...
The songs are so like. Actually, the songs were actually inspired. Technically, most of the songs in Encanto are sampled by other artists. They've basically got the songs, sampled them, because the person who made the movie, or some lady that read, she got inspiration from these music to use these songs as the characters' songs for these moments. You compare them, the bass tune, everything's the same, and they've just basically kind of changed the wording a little bit. It's just like, that's not inspiration. You've basically sampled the whole fucking song, changed a few words, and made it your own. You've done nothing. You've not created a whole new song.
That's technically stealing.
Yeah. And it's like
that's borderline.
And
like
then there's
taking
moments.
someone
There's like
else's
characters.
Thing, call it
characters
your own.
trying to be these moments to be strong characters. And
Did they credit them on it?
I don't know. They say they took inspiration by certain people and all these. I guess they.
Yeah, but if they've just blatantly taken that and just changed a few words, that's stealing. Borderline stealing.
So I don't know. But people go on about the songs.
I've heard nothing about it.
There were songs which I thought they were holding up the movie for me. I re-listened to the song and I'm like, if you just take the song as itself out of the movie, The song, I didn't enjoy the song. It
Or
needs
the
to
whole movie.
be, yeah, I'm just like, no. I watched the whole thing. I was like, okay, this is like, it's watchable, but but it's not
It.
a great movie. Like, I was a little bit let down, lacklustered in how it was advertised. To me, how I felt it was advertised wasn't what the movie offered. So,
It's like maybe Spider-Man. Like,
mm.
what people hyped it up way too much. Like,
I enjoyed it
it's a
more.
Spider-Man movie. Like,
Yeah, that's why I enjoyed it, because it's a solid. Like, for me, I enjoyed it the fact that it was Spider-Man. Like, it was as like there's like a mate was going, oh, people saying it's the best Marvel movie, and
I'm
he
not
turned
saying
off.
it's the best movie ever. Like,
No, because
fuck
there are
me.
some people apparently saying it's one of the best Marvel films. I'm like, it's
There are
good.
plot holes in it that shouldn't be in there.
I think that's the whole point of the movie, is the whole knockoff of the movie makes like kind of self-awareness laughter to that.
Yeah.
Because it's the whole time dimensional travel and like space or universe or whatever the fuck's going on, so everything.
Because I keep that with the rest of the trilogy. Like, that's a trilogy done. Like, that's
Exactly.
A to Z. Like, that's just done.
Exactly, and that's exactly it. And that's like one friend. He was like, he goes, I only watched half the movie and turned it off. I'm like, so you've only watched half the movie and turned it off. You've watched the first half of the movie, which is like the slow build up, and you turned it off. The second half is the better half of the film. You didn't even give it a chance to get to the actual climax. It's like having a wank and just stopping and being like, oh, you didn't even go. Like, you didn't have the best part.
I'm done. I'm fucked.
But you know what I mean, though? Like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, why would you do
I don't
that?
say give it a 9 because it wasn't a 9.
No.
Well, to me anyway, it was like 7, 8.
Well, what's that? Is that as a movie?
Yeah, like as a whole.
As a movie, as a. So that's the thing. See, it's interesting for me, as on the plane of existence of movies, I'd give it maybe a 7.5.
Yeah, that's I mean like 7, 8.
As a Spider-Man movie, I give it like close to being a 9, like kind of like a 9.
Oh yeah.
Like as a Spider-Man movie.
That's better than the last 2 Spider-Man ones.
Especially in
the first one was so good though.
I kind of enjoyed it. Well, I felt like this definitely had a lot of input from the second movie, because the first movie,
Well,
the
that
second
continues
movie,
straight on.
well, they all kind of continue on from, so like the first movie and the second movie are very. I mean, there is
Wasn't there
a
a gap.
There is gap,
second?
but it feels like it does leave off from the whole Tony Stark thing. But at the same sense, it's its own movie.
The second and No Way Home. That they shot that at the exact same time.
That's what I mean, though. Like, but like the second movie is really a big substance for the third movie. Like, if you're someone to have not watched the movie and you watch the third movie, I mean, why the fuck are you watching the third movie? But you'll be like, okay, like you wouldn't feel the same feeling if you watched the second movie. You don't need the
first one for that.
No, but if you watch the second movie, you get the understanding
just because
of the moment, like
Mysterio and what happened to Tony. Like
it's very.
But then again, you have to watch the Avengers to get what happens in
the whole Tony side of things. So I mean, it's a whole rabbit hole, but you get the base understanding feel. But for like,
you have to watch from the start
that,
to get everything.
But get everything. But like, if you were to ignore Marvel, like the rest of Marvel,
man, you could just watch those Spider-Man movies and be happy.
That's what I'm saying.
1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
It'd be fine.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. But if you were to like, that's what I was going to get at. Say, but you definitely need 2 for 3. Like, you couldn't just watch 3 on its own. So it'd be 2.
Yeah, that's why I watched the first 2. I'm just like, I got to catch up because I'm gonna be like,
trying to remember.
What?
And then and it kind of rings in the other.
Because that came out so long ago now, 2017.
But that's what gets me though. That's the big thing I say. Like, as a Spider-Man film, so good. Like, it hit every Spider-Man moment so well. Like, so good.
You can't really top that either. I think that's why they ended that there. Because you can't top that.
So there was still a lot of talks going on where the future's going for the next Spider-Man things at the moment. Because
they had cameo on.
Because there was talks. I was watching one of the interviews, and there was kind of hints and talks about the future. And again, when they were talking about stuff, you could see Tom Holland had a tippy toe where he was talking again of where the future of Spider-Man is going.
He can't be Peter again, I don't think. It's just Spider-Man that he has to play now.
You watch some of these recent interviews that have come out with the 3 of them being interviewed, and you can see when the interviewer is giving these questions talking about the future, and like, and technically he's not talking about Tom Holland's future, but he's talking about as the
Yeah.
other characters' future, more or less like Andrew
As he
Garfield.
said about Miles and that, he did
Mm.
mention Miles and like Gwen and
Because like
like
talking about
whatever.
like Andrew coming back for a third movie, and you can see Tom was like, you can see him clamoring up, even though he's not being asked questions. It's
Right.
like Maguire being asked questions and Garfield being asked questions like, would you, then like it's like kind of leading in like, is there gonna, or like, would you like to come
Unless
back?
he's
And you can see
he
him
knows what
like,
he's doing now and he's just
yeah,
putting people off, like
I don't even know. It's like, but like
because
there is
he's
a lot
very
more.
self-aware now because he knows what he's done
Yeah.
in the past.
Oh, he slipped up so much though still, and that's the crazy part. So
And yet Garfield didn't for the whole few years. He just kept saying he's not in Spider-Man. Not in
he only
Spider-Man.
told like 3 people, and then he just kept quiet. His mum, his dad, and his brother.
And yet Tobey Maguire, you heard nothing from him the
Yeah,
whole
they
time.
kept it so quiet so well, and Tom Holland just kept everything slipping here and there.
Every fucking one.
Like,
Like, he even had fucking Cumberbatch just like, shut up, kid. Shut
yeah,
up, kid.
it's just ridiculous.
He was
But
fucking death staring him and shit like, stop talking.
it's just crazy.
Like, it'd be so hard to do an interview with Tom Holland because he just goes.
I would love to have an interview with Tom Holland, but like but give him questions where it feels like I'm putting him on the spot, like really like putting him on the spot to make it feel like I want him to try and but not. Like, you know what I
Can we
mean?
tag him on stuff and say, come on the podcast?
Get on the podcast and just like try and feel like to. Imagine if he pulled something like they were like, what? And we're like, hi, welcome to the Beardy Bros Party.
I've got the feeling he could come on here if he really wanted to.
Give an interview.
Hey, it'd be fucking fun.
It'd be different because it'd be like a two-way kind of short little interview. I ask a question, you ask a question, I ask a question, you ask a question.
Got bad cop. Like,
cop, bad
and
cop.
then Dale's like, bam, gotcha.
Next minute, he's giving me the secret to the Krabby Patty formula.
Right?
It's just like, I don't know, it's like, yes! Yeah. I don't know.
You got it on video.
Got the secret to the Krabby Patty formula, that's all I wanted. But yeah, so that's that. I was gonna ask you I should have asked you at the start of this podcast. But if you guys have made it this way, thank you for listening as always, and check out the merch store, redbubble.com/PickleTubeTV, or search up in the search bar on Redbubble, Beardy
That's
Bros.
another idea.
Beardy Bros podcast. Yeah. What are you thinking?
A Beardy Bros Pac-Man with our heads as the
Hey. Could do that.
That'd be awkward though.
I could make.
I mean,
a game
probably not
that'd be-
awkward,
that'd
but
be an
like,
easy game to make. Don't really want to make.
yeah, but I just thought the
Don't say
T-shirt
things,
for there.
Dale. Don't say things, Dale. I've been
I'm just
promising.
looking at the ghost there. I'm just like,
Yeah.
like put one of our heads there,
Have us being chased by Pac-Man, or just us going, oh.
and you're putting these as mics.
Just take a side profile of our faces. Yeah, I was thinking about have our side profiles of our faces and just do the cut in our mouths like opened up, so it's like just like Pac-Man. And then the big white balls of the microphones.
We're giving away merch ideas. Stop it. It's like,
This might be a little bit longer, actually. Fuck, this might be a longer episode. Shit,
only,
sorry
only,
guys.
only a little bit. Oh, what are we at? Like an hour?
Yeah, we're at an hour.
Yeah, it's only we're only got.
I could always cut the end off.
spoiler
I
stuff in
could
that.
even cut the end off and have that as a separate thing if we wanted to, even.
We got like
I don't think I will though. You guys
30
can
to 45 minutes.
I wanted to ask as well, what you been playing this week?
Dying Light
Dying Light. You've been growing through Dying Light.
and Rocket League.
Not bad. Yeah, I've been
What
trying.
about yourself, Dan?
I've been going through Fortnite since the new Foundation skin has dropped. Is unlocked. Challenges have unlocked for that. So, trying to get myself the
Dwayne Johnson.
and Dwayne Johnson. Yes. So apparently he's got a very unique model as well. People have been saying is because he does that eyebrow raise, that smoldering look he does. So because that's an animation that no other character skin has, because of how unique it is to actually have a face model to turn and do the whole eyebrow raise and everything like that. It's a very unique model compared to everything else, where everything's very like attached.
Just flat.
Yeah, and like they react generically with most emotes and stuff. That one's very unique to actually have an eyebrow raise.
I would say generic Kratos looks creepy with that fucking smiley dance.
Yeah, he does. But most characters can look kind of creepy with that. But
I can't get that out of my fucking head again.
All the different dances that you can chuck on the characters to do.
I remember fucking Daryl doing that dance. That was weird.
It's so good. It says that I recently bought Fable. Been trying to play that again for streams, which is pretty good.
Fable.
The old Fable and I went with Fable Anniversaries just so it looks nicer.
Yeah, that was 360, right? That came out again. I think. Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, so I bought that through the Steam sale, so it wasn't too bad Steam sale.
Oh, we got it on Steam.
Yes, that was pretty good. So I played a little bit of that again. So it's much
So
really
it's
been
on
playing.
Game Pass, I think.
I think so. Might have been. I just
Yeah.
wanted to buy it on PC because it was cheap. I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it. At least I've got it. And I'm trying to run things through Xbox Game Pass. It's just so janky. I like basically uninstalled Halo that was on PC from Xbox Game Pass and re-downloaded it through Steam. I think it was I did to get to work.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
That's how broken it was.
Yeah.
Because I could
hate
tweak
to
the
admit
settings.
it, but Microsoft,
Well,
I
you can
can't make
access
anything run right.
Yeah, because you can access the settings a lot more to really like debug stuff and like all
Yeah,
kinds
because
of
that
shit with Steam.
Xbox app really is built for the console, not PC.
Yeah, it's basically a console port for the PC. Like, that's basically it's
Which,
like for an emulator
why?
almost. It's basically a console emulator for the PC.
I
Basically.
hate it because that broke my game once. I
Yeah.
went to install the Master Chief Collection and it broke
Yep.
my whole computer. For
Again, it's better to play the
month.
Master Chief Collection through Steam for that very reason. It's like why?
It's Microsoft Premier
I really should have bought that on Steam
thing and
sale
it
as
doesn't
well.
fucking run.
Because the Master Chief Collection was down to $20 on Steam.
$20.
Yeah. Should have bought it.
Can you
through there.
change controls?
Do all kinds of things.
Can you change the inputs?
Yeah. Do all kinds
You
of things.
can't on console.
Yeah, you're locked.
I can't.
And
I
then-
fucking don't like B as melee. Or
Oh,
the
yeah,
bumper is
different
melee,
button
where the
layouts.
fuck
You
it
still got your
was.
different button layouts you can choose from.
Yeah, but it's not classic
Yeah, there's one there.
melee stick and shit.
Yeah, there's one of the settings is there you can.
Yeah,
flip
but
to.
nothing. It doesn't flow like a proper.
It doesn't feel right though. It feels
FPS.
broken because it's the controller or something. I don't know.
That's why I can't play Halo anymore.
What's the other thing?
I played Reach because that was modern-ish.
I was gonna say the other game which I've been playing because we talked about it the other week when we had Wookiee on was Super People.
Mm.
So I've actually been playing Super People and been getting pretty good at that.
I haven't.
I gotta play it, man. So good.
I thought you were playing PUBG for a minute. I'm like, and then you had like this big sprint power. Like, I'm like,
Oh, yeah, looks so much like PUBG, but it plays so much more better than PUBG. Like they fixed the UI, the handling, like everything's so much more improved than PUBG.
I thought it was PUBG. And then you just super sprinted. I'm like,
Yeah.
huh.
Yep.
Huh.
Bye bye. So I've been making videos from that. It's pretty funny. So it's still got some vehicle jankiness like PUBG has, but like they definitely don't have the nonsense like jumping and like crashing into things causing a lot of damage. They don't have a lot of that.
I hate it. I've killed so many squads
Yeah.
doing that.
They've taken a lot of that out. So there's. A lot
I
of
was
stuff
banned from driving. My own squad mates were like, "You're not touching the vehicle."
I did one clip I've got up, and it's just basically me yeeting off a jump and just flipping the car and landing it. It's great.
I remember back in the day on Xbox, PUBG, you just tap a tree, goes your car. And they're like, we're dead. The whole squad's just dead.
Exactly, it's ridiculous.
We get one person just like, I'm alive, and then it's just them, and they get sniped. It's like,
But, what is it?
Hey.
But one thing I want to talk about before we get into the spoiler end of the episode, of the podcast, which is basically, I'm kind of doing a segue of like, what have you watched this week? We already know we watched Eternals, which we're going to be getting into in a sec.
What did I watch?
What else did you watch?
Oh, I watched Bond.
Bond,
No
yes.
Time to Die. That movie was
I gotta
fucking
watch
9
that.
out of 10.
I gotta watch that. We gotta watch another James Bond movie.
I can't
I was
say
actually
nothing about
flicking
it, can I?
through who had it. One of the streaming platforms had all the Bond movies up there. It's actually kind of interesting to see that. Was it Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig. Oh, Craig.
Yeah.
Daniel
Ba-
Craig.
Basically has one of the like almost like Sean Connery and what's his name as being like the longest running Bonds.
He's had what, 4 or 5 Bond movies now?
That's 7. Like 6 or 7 Bond movies.
That was like 5, I think.
You got Casino
Yeah,
Royale, Quantum of Solace. There's I can't remember after that. There's Skyfall. There's there's a whole bunch of them. There's like a shit
that's
ton of.
Pretty much. Skyfall was the last one before this one.
There's another one in there as well. I count like 6 or 7 films.
Mm, let me have a
Yeah,
look.
because there's a whole bunch there. I was like, holy shit.
Okay, so there's one, two, three, four. Yeah, five. They got Casino Royale, 2006, 2008, Quantum of Solace, 2012, Skyfall, 2015, Spectre, 2021, No Time to Die.
So there was another one in there.
Nah.
What was I looking at? But yeah, I was still like, damn.
Yeah, because I'll mate one, two, three, four for Pierce Brosnan.
Hmm. He only had 4 or something like that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's like,
Daniel Craig probably got the most, really, or probably even with Sean Connery or someone.
I thought there
Yeah,
was
well,
another
he's
one there. I didn't know.
officially
I thought there
gone
was like
now,
6 or
so
something like that. Yeah. I know. I thought there was an extra one in there for some reason.
I don't get it. Like he could still play Bond. He was good in that. I guess they just
Yeah.
his time was up, really.
So it's interesting. But yeah, he's up there with a lot of the films, so he's done pretty good.
Yeah, but this is the trippy part. Pierce Brosnan was from '95 to 2002. That was only 7 years. Had
Hmm.
4 movies,
I know. Very spaced out.
and yet Daniel Craig, he nearly had it for 20 years.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Yeah, because Casino Royale, 2006.
Oh. Wow.
2006, then 2 years, 2008, then 4 years, then 3 years, and then 6 years.
Okay.
That was a big jump between that last one and shit.
What I was going to segue into before we get to, because this end segment's going to take a long talk about Marvel stuff. I was going to say, because it dropped up on Disney Plus, so it's kind of a whole segue of Disney. Um, so I don't know if you're a fan of Wes Anderson. Have you watched many of Wes Anderson films?
Resident Evil.
I say
That's
like
the only ones I know of by him.
Wes Anderson. Fucking, he's done like Life Aquatic.
Yeah, Resident
Um,
Evil, right? That's him.
I think is that Wes Anderson? I think it might have
Let me Google that
been. I
too.
can't remember now. Fuck. All I know is this.
Wes and I think it is him. Yeah, he's done. Oh yeah, the Grand Budapest Hotel, the
Yeah.
French something.
The biggest one, which was he's done like
Maybe it's
his
not
Life
him. I think it's
Aquatica,
someone
the
else.
Darjeeling Limited. He did Fantastic Mr. Fox
Oh,
and the
he did
Grand
sing.
Budapest. He did sing, yeah. So there's some of the big ones he's done. So the recent film he's done is the French Dispatch. So I was actually watching that
Yeah.
before the podcast.
Is
Um,
it good?
I got halfway through the movie and it is actually pretty decent for a Wes Anderson. It's typical Wes Anderson, very art house film. But my fucking god, this cast in this movie is like insane compared to like what he's done before. So I want to go through.
I'm having a look right now at
I
that.
want to go.
And...
No. I wanted to go through here and give you the names. Don't be looking at it. Chicken nugget. So you've got.
Nugget.
So you've
A
got
person's
Bill
chicken
Murray.
nugget.
You
Oh,
got
so yeah.
up and coming actor who was in Doom, which is Timothy Chalamet.
Who the fuck
Um,
is that?
he's an upcoming actor. You got Owen Wilson, Tilda Swinton, Adrian Brody,
Owen Wilson?
Francis McDormand, Benicio del Toro. You got Jeffrey Wright, Lea Sedux, I can't remember, Sarah Ronan. Don't know. I don't. Some of these people I don't know. You've got like Jason Schwartz, Edward Norton, Willem
No
Dafoe.
way. I just
Um,
saw one name that stuck out.
I haven't gotten to the part yet to see Willem Dafoe in the movie, so I haven't seen him yet. You got Tony Revolori, which was who played what's his name again? Um, in Spider Man. Flash. He played Flash Thompson in Spider Man.
Oh, that's just changed so much.
Yeah, he's in this. It's got Henry Winkler. You've got Bob Ballabane. You've got Angelica Houston. You got Christopher Waltz. You like
No, you said his name wrong.
what?
Christoph.
Oh,
Christoph Waltz.
I just say Christopher. Yeah, Christoph Waltz.
Christopher Waltz.
Yeah, like it's insane.
Yeah, that's who I was. That's the name that stuck out for me. Like he's in everything lately.
Christoph Waltz. Yeah, but like the fact that
He's in
got...
Bond.
Hmm. But like
Oh,
the
like,
fact that this movie's got Willem Dafoe as well, in Edward
the dude
Norton.
never ages.
There's so many people. See, and then there's like a scene in the movie. You see Tilda Swinton nude in the film. was like, hey, what the
Yeah.
hell? It was an awkward moment.
That'd be weird.
It was an awkward moment because they're like trying to like there's like because you're like a narrator for one of the scenes, and they're like flicking through a slide, and it's just like, and it comes up, and she's like, "Oh, that's the wrong photo." Anyway, it's like what? uh,
Oh,
but
God.
Benicio del Toro as always is so good in the film, and
Right?
Bill Murray and almost just all. But so many actors, like a big name cast listing, and it's just
Are they all fucking French?
no. But
That's weird then.
It's interesting, but it's typical Wes Anderson like
What's
art
it
house
on? Is it
film.
on streaming? Or...
Disney Plus. And that only came out on DVD. I think it dropped on DVD like a couple of days ago as well.
Just buy it on there.
Like
Just
it's
buy it
just
there.
crazy though that like they can't. I feel like sometimes they're doing themselves in by dropping it on the streaming platforms because if you've got Disney Plus, you have no need to go buy the movie. You just watch it, stream and watch it. And you've done it. Like you won't watch it
Right.
again. Like I
Can't bu-
barely buy things anymore.
I can't believe fucking all those names in there. And they only had a budget of 44 million.
Yep, it's
Which
crazy.
means they paid peanuts for all them.
And a lot of the stuff they work with, there's a lot of sets. There's a lot of sets how they filmed a lot of the stuff.
But
Typical.
then a lot of them people don't really. So a lot of up and comers in there too.
But a lot of these actors do
And
it
stuff who
because they
haven't
want
been
to.
there for like Owen Wilson. He's been in fuck all.
But see, the thing is too, a lot of the actors sometimes when it comes to Wes Anderson, when he comes, you're like, yep, I'm down to work. You know, when he comes asking, it's like, yep, I'm gonna come do it. You know, sometimes for some people, it's not all about the money. Like it's like down for the performance. Like
That lady too, Leah Seydoux.
which one?
Leah Seydoux. I think they say her name.
Sado.
Yeah, she's in Bond too.
Oh,
And she's the one who plays in Death Stranding.
Death Stranding.
That's why I recognised the face from. I'm like, she's from Death Stranding.
Where does she play in that? I'm trying to think if she plays.
What, in the French thing?
Simone.
Yeah, but Edward Norton though, like he's been around for God knows how fucking long. That's crazy. I wouldn't have even seen that movie if you didn't say
Oh,
it.
okay, yeah, you see her nude in the film too.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Benicio del Toro is painting her.
Oh.
She's standing there posed in a pose, and he's just standing there like trying to painting a picture, and then he goes over there and he starts painting her. She slaps him.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's very art house film.
Just starts painting her like what?
He plays like a mental, like he's like a murderer or some shit.
I'll definitely watch it. But just that sounds
Don't want
interesting.
to get too
though,
carried away trying to spoil anything, but
yeah, I do want to watch that now.
That
sounds like a weird
movie. I
movie.
mean, it's kind of weird when it comes to an art house film. You're not really spoiling sense because it's
Just so random.
You kind of give, yeah, it's just weird. But it's typical Wes Anderson. It's a really good film. Like it's something so casual you can watch, but you
he made
but
that.
you can't like stop watching almost. Like I stopped because like I had to come do the podcast, but like
Oh, so that's when you were AFK, was it?
no, it was before that. Before I came AFK, I put that on, watch that, stopped to come here, and then like crap, I need to go to the toilet, so I went to the toilet. Sorry guys, you listen to some poo talk.
Poo talk.
Poo talk. So we're going on to the main
Poo
feast
thoughts.
now. We're going to the main feast. So this is definitely the end of the episode. So those, I think I'll do a little mini outro for those that don't want to keep listening. So those that don't want to keep listening now, thank you for coming by and listening to the podcast as always. But we're going to go on to now the spoiler side of things. So we want to get very in depth to a sense with Eternals and talk about some speculations of where the future of the MCU could be going with bringing in some of the characters with some of the posts I've seen that have been going around. So just to give you a heads up, warning, beep, 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 like air horns or something, I don't know. Cover your ears, run away, catch us next time, or come back after you've watched Eternals if you've wanted to watch
Some of
Eternals.
the characters.
Otherwise, if
Wouldn't
you don't want to
even
watch
call them
Eternals,
characters.
yeah, even if you don't want to watch Eternals and you just want to listen to it, hey, keep listening. Thank you for keep listening. So we've got that out of the way. So Jim, you've been watching Eternals. You're nearly finished the film, but we're gonna
And
kind
I
of
still
go.
have no fucking idea what the fuck's going on in there.
So you're gonna get a lot of the
I mean,
ending and stuff anyway. So basically, what's going on? Wait, what
I
are you
got
gonna
the
say?
gist of.
You got the gist of it. Okay, so they're Celestials. They're Eternals, which are
Well,
beings to the
that's
Celestials.
thing.
Mm. Well, Eternals aren't human; they are machines.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they're not really. They're just
And
made.
adding to that, Thanos is an Eternal,
He was made.
so he was also a machine.
But then again, he didn't die like they did.
It's
I think
interesting.
he went kaboom though, so big difference there.
Well, that's why it adds a depth to why he's so durable, and why he was so strong, and why it was so hard for them to basically kill him, was because the whole essence of him being an Eternal.
Yeah, but they weren't allowed to.
No. Not the Eternals, the other Eternals, like the superheroes, like Iron Man and Thor and stuff like
Yeah, well,
that.
he was fucking like invincible. So
Like even
like
without the
them.
glove, that's why he was so
Hmm.
strong. And he was like when he had like basically when we saw him at the end
Oh
of
no, they were kicking his ass about the stones and that. About the glove.
well remember with the Hulk? Remember when the Hulk went up against him? And he carried the Hulk and he only had one stone then, and it wasn't even a stone to make him powerful.
Yeah, but remember, Thor nearly fucking got him in Captain America.
Nearly did, yes. But Thor is also a god.
Hmm.
So
He could have killed him if he didn't have any stones or the glove though, or the gauntlet.
Thor definitely could have. Like, the biggest thing with Thor, what caused a lot of the problems, was his arrogance, and that's basically what Thanos basically told him when he said you should
Yeah.
have gone for the head, because he knew himself. Like if you went for the logical attack, he would have made sense. But because Thor's arrogance, he didn't think with a
Yep.
clear head until the next time when they came across him, and it made sense and everything, and that's why things played out the way they did.
Yep.
And he got decapitated. He goes, oh, go for the head next time, and he did. But like they cornered him, he was done and tired, and he was like he accepted his fate at the same time. He wasn't.
He just didn't care.
He done what he wanted to do. So that was the whole build up for what there's a lot of reasons once you watch
He
Eternals.
kind of made his peace, really. Like,
Yeah.
he just done what he wanted to do.
And basically, Eternals kind of shows more of what Thanos was doing, and kind of makes sense to why Thanos did that. Because he did talk about the whole thing with Titan, had his whole explanation of stuff and going on, but Eternals really shows what is actually going on more, and explains, like, because we see how Titan was destroyed in rubble. That doesn't really make sense to add up to what Thanos was doing. But if it makes sense of what the Celestials were doing, makes sense what happened to Titan, why Thanos wanted to snap half of the existence out. So basically, what Eternals was promising and setting up is that the Eternals are sent to different planets to help bring the planets to life, bring them. That's why you protect them from the deviants.
Them
because
and the
deviants
deviants.
yeah, so, and there's a reason to why the deviants are. So basically, everything is created from the Celestials. And in the film, it does explain that the Celestials originally created the deviants to
Bring life.
bring life
They
ahead.
tried to evolve life. Like,
Yes.
they were there to help evolve, but they got too powerful and then
Yes.
hunted.
Exactly.
So-
So the hunted became
Yeah.
the hunters, and that's what the whole point of the deviants were, was to try and make humans evolve quick, or not humans, but any being
Yeah,
on those
well,
planets
the
evolve
life
quicker.
there.
But then the deviants became more and more aware and
More
evolved to
sentient,
become
like, more...
advanced, and that's
Like, they're
basically the
fucking
thing.
smart. Like,
And
they
we
can
see that in
take
the
your
film as
powers,
well.
right? Like, they can...
Yep. So that's another thing I'm going to get to
That's
with the
crazy.
explanation as well. What's going on with that? So before we go further,
Yeah.
so the Eternals were then created to be the beings to take out the deviants, because they already created so many deviants. They needed to cull them now, so they created the Eternals to now get rid of the deviant mess and then be the new replacement to help thrive and bring life advancements for those planets.
But still fuck that up.
And exactly, but again, it's still fucked up. So it's realistically, it's coming down to Celestials' problems that are causing these problems. But the whole point they're trying to make these planets grow better is because there's seeds in each of those planets, which is an egg for Celestials. So basically, the sooner the planet thrives and gets so much life, then it gives so much energy and nutrients to the core that the Celestial can be born, the planet gets destroyed
Which
in
is
the
where
process.
I'm up to, I think,
Yep.
where they're bringing it to life, the
Yep.
Celestial.
So that basically standpoints makes more sense of why, when you look at Titan now, how destroyed and fucked up Titan was and how gravitational was fucked, because a Celestial was already born on Titan and had destroyed Titan. It wasn't that, and that's what Thanos was trying to stop then, and he couldn't. And then you
That's
can
what
already
Earth is being done in Eternals.
So if you think about what happened in Eternals, that the Eternals were aware to stop the Celestials, what makes you think that there aren't other Eternals in other parts that have been doing the same thing
They
already?
just couldn't do it in time.
Yeah, and then these guys are now the ones that have been lucky enough to try
Or the
and go
deviants
searching.
fucked them up.
Exactly. And there's a lot that's going on with that now because of the deviants and the Eternals and the Celestials. there's so much going on, so it explains more of what Thanos was doing and what he was trying to
Yeah, but
stop by halving
we
the.
didn't see any deviant ever before. Like there should have been at least one sighting somewhere
Well, that's where it's starting to come into, which I'll talk about.
because the
I can
Eternals
say it
couldn't
now.
keep track of because they lost him for a long time.
So that's where a lot of that's coming in now. Is going to be the explanation for a lot of things that have been happening. So that's going to be their new way of explaining mutants. So basically,
Hmm.
mutants are going to be another form of deviants that have been. So that's how they're going to explain. So
Oh,
technically, what are you going to
that's
say?
like that. This is a big spoiler, but old mate got drained and then he turned human, like
Mm.
into a from a beast to a
Yes.
dude.
Yes.
Yeah,
So that's kind of the
I
same
got you.
thing where.
He would talk English too. I'm like, God damn, son,
So
he
that's.
learned everything.
So it's going to explain
He
a
went
lot
from
of
a
things.
snarling beast to a fucking like. Oh.
But yeah, he just like he did everything because he was absorbing powers and they're just doing
I
everything.
just can't believe fucking Gilgamesh though. I'm sad.
Yeah. So but yeah, so that's where the explanation is that they're gonna, I guess, go to the point where maybe some of the deviants evolved that far enough that they became
Yeah, but
mutants, or if
they
they're just the
can't
kind of
look
form
any
of them.
better though. Like they're still pretty fucked up.
Hmm. Well, that's the thing. So it's gonna be interesting. What's the process of its
Also, they're
survival and
like fucking
evolution?
10 foot tall.
Hmm. Well, I mean, yeah, they're each different because it was kind of
They
interesting to
can't
see
really
how they
shrink.
evolved.
They just morph. So they
Hmm.
can't really.
So it's gonna be interesting, but that's where they're going with the explanation because they put out a post a while back. I think it was Marvel was explaining that
Hmm.
not all deviants were taken out, and some of the deviants weren't what you expected, in the sense of being mutants. So that's where it's going now, is because deviants have lived for so long. Some of the deviants have evolved and changed and became mutants because passing
Which
on
would have been.
DNA and changing and evolving. Because you got to think about when deviants first started and coming to where they are now. Some deviants were still the same as being deviants because they were hidden away. Because it's showing that they were hidden away and they were working together and doing different things. Because people are starting to realize, oh shit, this is happening, and they were working together, or they weren't working together, and all stuff's happening. So there's a whole bunch of shit that's going
They're
on.
just
Which
biding their time.
exactly. So there's a lot that's going on that it is being very skimmed over because of how slow paced and very serious this movie is. It's kind of just not giving the facts
It's not
as
serious.
obvious.
It's probably too comedic for what it actually is because there's a lot of jokes in there.
Yeah,
There's a
there's
lot
that
of
true.
like, what the fuck just happened? Why'd you say
Oh.
that?
And
Like,
and that's exactly it. So we're getting to see mutants, which is going to be relations to the deviants, and the Eternals. So that's their explanation. Um,
also that Thena thing, that's fucked up. Like she can just full on take everyone out
mhm.
at a snap of just nothing, just bam.
Because of her, and that's again because she's had that mental awareness because she's realizing her past lives. That's where speculation of Thanos was at that point too, because he became aware what was going on as well.
Yeah, because they've got how many fucking memories just chilling somewhere? Because
Because at the end, well, so at the end as well, the end credit scene, you see Thanos' brother,
oh,
Urgos, who's played by Harry Styles, and
mm.
he's very quirky and stuff at the end, and he's already on his trip to find other Eternals to stop people as well. So he was already on his own mission, which means he was already aware as well to do these things, and then these other Eternals. So
I mean,
there are other
Thanos just did it the
Eternals.
wrong way.
Well, that's exactly. He just immediately thought, let's just cut off the head, get rid of half the population. Nothing else is being fed because half the population dies. The Celestials aren't feeding off
He could have
the
just he
planets.
could have
Why
he
not
could
just
have used
go?
his words
Why
and
not just
just
go?
like
Get rid of the, like. Why not just click the Celestials away? Like, why not just go Celestials be gone? Like,
I don't think it works like that.
but that's another thing I want to get into for it. So that's another thing I'm
Because
going to get
they're
into in a
very
sec.
high power.
Well, there's that. There's a reason why you can't get rid of Celestials, which I want to get into in a sec. So Thanos is the whole thing, which is kind of bad because now Iron Man did all the snap to bring everyone back, which has now reset the whole process, and Celestials are back on track to coming back out of their spawns from planets.
What they could have done was just moved people to another planet,
Hmm. Other
not
planets,
just
yeah.
kill them.
But then yeah, so but then it gives more
That
planets.
was like 7 years like past,
But
so it was like
yeah,
they
but
could
the
just
problem
move to
is
another.
go do more planets, then it gives Celestials more planets to go to put more eggs. So
It's
you got to
good.
think about that.
Better
There's
that
more
way.
planets again, and then it's just if you do more again, then it's more plants for them to plant, and then more on from there.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing. Just make
So,
sure you don't birth any of them.
but yeah, well, that's exactly they have to be very aware and control that now. Um,
Well, that's easy now. They've learned like
kind
what
of. They might
I mean,
not all have that ability though.
they always had the sense, but like they couldn't.
But that's
find...
that's another thing again is if they're willing to do that, because there'll be some that may not want to do it, and there's those that will want to stop
Oh
them.
yeah, remember that? Who's that fucking laser-eyed cunt? I hated that dude. I hated him.
You'll love it at the end.
Yeah, but he's a dick.
Yeah, you'll love him at the end. The little fiery ball in our solar system.
The sun?
Icarus.
Oh, flies into the sun. Good. Fuck him.
He's like, he realizes what he's done, and he's like all sad, and he just goes, phew, full speed, and flies straight into the sun.
Because he fucked everything up.
Yeah, he kind of realized what he done at the end, and he's like, okay, fine, fuck this shit, I'm out, and just flies straight into the sun. Which is ironically enough is parallel to Superman, because Superman got his powers from the sun.
And also Superman died, so...
I do like, though, one kid goes, are you Superman?
You're right, I saw that. I was just like, oh.
But that's how it's always been. They've always been
Was it?
Like
he said he doesn't wear a cape.
Yeah. He goes, I'm better, I'm cooler, I don't wear a cape. I was like, wow. But they've always been like that, though, in the comics. They've always been like that. So, basically, coming back to
Superman exists there too, or the name anyway.
Yeah, the name. That means those comic books, the DC comics exist in the Marvel universe. There was always
vice versa as well.
There was also always rumors that they technically are in the same universes. There have been some comics where they do exist in the same universes.
I'm expecting a crossover between like.
But it never happens. It's just one of those things. It's just always comic books.
Like Avengers versus like Suicide Squad or something. Like it's gonna be a thing.
A big thing that I've got at the moment, because a lot of people have been wondering how, because now we're seeing Celestials, which are big beings, and we've got what's the setup?
Can't hide them.
No, and then it's like, what's the setup for Galactus? Because Galactus, the Earth Eater or the Planet Eater, he's always been a big baddie, and there's always talks of how to set him up, and he's basically the same size as a Celestial.
So they fuck him up.
So, you know, he fights Celestials a fair bit. So
aren't the Celestials good though?
No, they're not really good. They just
the Eternals aren't good either, really.
They're not really good, they're not really bad. So there's a lot that I'm going to get into more again as well. We're going down another rabbit hole. So there's a big thing that I have...
They're that in between, like, yeah.
I kind of have a theory in the sense. So there's specific reason things are designed a certain way. So when I was watching Eternals, and you see the Celestial coming out of the Earth, because you see the hand and the head shape.
Did I see that already?
You might not have seen it, because it starts being birthed from the planet and they freeze it.
Oh, I've just seen them when they had the yellow stuff going everywhere. That's
so yeah, they basically freeze it, and you see its fingers freeze coming out of the Earth, and then the head's frozen. And now that's basically frozen, and you can see basically part of the Earth will have a Celestial's part head and hand coming out of the planet. What do you think's going to happen now that's sticking out of the Earth?
They can still come up.
Well,
people will find it.
People are going to... So not necessarily it coming out.
They're going to dig that shit out.
That's what I'm getting at. So not just it coming up and out. It's okay. Yeah, okay. If it's dead, it's dead.
They'll get dug up, and then shit will break loose.
Well, this is where I'm getting at. This is the setup, which I feel like might happen. So yeah, he's dead. Let's just go to the fact he actually is dead, in case they've actually killed him and he can't be rebirthed, not just frozen. He's dead.
I reckon he's dead.
Let's just for sake's being, let's just say he's dead. One thing straight up the fact is, Shield's not really Shield anymore. It's now Sword. Sword, for one, are going to want to interact with that straight up, because
Pokemon
now
confirmed.
Hey,
Sword and Shield. They're all Pokemon trainers.
Marvel's always done it first.
Yeah, but
that's the whole point of Sword and Shield. You go one without the other.
Yeah, but grab your dagger. Shield and dagger.
No, don't get me going mad with you with my Marvel stuff. Sword and Shield have always been in the comics for years. You're making me drag this out now.
I've read the comics, so I have no idea.
Sword is now the new facility in space. They're for one going to want to interact.
Is Nick Fury still there?
Yeah. He's running Sword now. He runs the Sword base.
Is that No Way Home? Fucking like Nick Fury wasn't even there.
Yeah, they showed him at the end. He was in the Sword base. Yeah, that ship he was in the end was the Sword base.
Yeah, but like he wasn't. That wasn't even him.
It was a scroll. So
Yeah, like, I'm just
that's
like,
what I mean. There's a lot of setups.
yeah, but Skrulls were in there way before that though.
Yeah. So well, that's exactly it. That was the easy cover-ups for the Skrulls. They were there the whole time, and we never saw him until like Captain Marvel. So you know, so yeah. So now you got to think about that's now sticking out of the earth. These science government agencies are going to want to like test the fuck out of it,
Probing
wondering what the
and
fuck it is. So there's a design.
they
So
would know what it is though.
no, government
Really?
officials would not know.
No, but Sword
Nope.
and that would.
No, they wouldn't.
But they know everything.
No one knows about these Celestials and Eternals. No one would know about that. That's on a need-to-know basis, and they wouldn't want to talk to humans. The way they treat humans as food, they would not want to work with them because humans would want to stop them because their planet's being destroyed each time. Why would you want to work?
I'm thinking now. Have the Eternals been in other Marvel movies as a regular human though? Like in the back somewhere, we've probably seen one of them just chilling.
Exactly. There's a lot of things like that. So there's that as well. That's
I
another.
mean, it wouldn't
that's
be
the side thing
them
as well.
playing it, but like they've just been chilling, like watching a fight. One looks like, oh,
Like
we
the key
can't do
point.
anything. But
That's
good luck.
exactly it. That's exactly it. Like
I mean, they could, they wanted to intervene, but they got orders not to do it.
maybe Stanley was an Eternal all along.
Ooh. Well, he's in all the fucking he's in every fucking action spot.
They always,
In the
I
bus,
always
in the
thought
fucking
that he
library.
could be a Watcher though, because Watchers were even more higher ups than Celestials almost, I guess.
Well, he's not there.
But anyway,
no more.
going away from my theory, kind of prediction theory, kind of what makes sense to me. So for me being a Marvel fan, knowing Galactus and what Galactus is like and what he looks like and stuff, when I first saw, because I've looked up because the Celestial coming out of the Earth is called Titurius or whatever his name is. So his design, Titus or something like that. So his design is very different to what came out of the Earth. They're the same character, but his design's very rounded. And there are other characters that can look similar. So his character, look him up. He's gold.
I think it's Titus.
Yeah, it's Titus, something like. He's gold. And he's got round knobs on his head. He's got 3 round knobs, 2 on the side, 1 on the top. They're rounded shapes. This design, on the other hand,
fucking Tiamat.
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 That's it.
Because remember, Earth 616.
So you see his design.
Because when Icarus was going blah 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 to the other Eternals, and then that lady just zooms in and goes, "I found Tiamat," and then just zaps around and gone.
Yeah. So that's Tiamat.
And then they just end up there like bam.
So that's his design. So you can see the gold look armor. You can see the photo of him being gold and with the round knobblies. You see him coming out of the Earth.
No, he's just standing there like with big ass shoulder pads.
Yeah. Now see if you can type up TMS Eternals.
I did. He's Tiamat the Communicator.
See how he looks. So he's frozen, but see how his head shape's elongated shape.
Oh, I was that for the movie.
Okay, so basically, I'm gonna kind of describe it. I'm gonna kind of describe it. In the movie, his head's more rectangular and he has the spikes coming out of his heads. Go to Google right now and type in Galactus Fortnite Nexus.
Yeah, because that Tiamat Communicator doesn't have a thing.
Type in Fortnite Galactus Nexus.
Oh no.
So this is one thing that I've been thinking about. So
Galactus
Nexus or Galactus.
That little beep, beep.
See how because he's always had that big blocky head, but he's always got his spikes on the. He's got like noise.
Oh, that's a big fucking helmet.
Yes, exactly. So big. He's always had big.
His face is like this, and his helmet's like.
Yep. So that's the thing. So there's that. And
so are they going by Fortnite?
Well, look at other Galactus. Look at other Galactus designs.
So that's Galactus, not Tiamat.
No, that's exactly it. So look at his designs, or if you can look at it, he's always had those nodes on the side of his head that point up. He's always had arms that come out and go up on the side of his helmet. So, but the Fortnite versions, they've changed it and made it pointy. Like sharp spikes coming out and up on the side of his head. They're like sharp spikes, where those ones are like kind of more prongy antennae.
Yeah, Galactus has got a 2-point thing, not a big pointy thing. He got like a 2-parter.
So this
Eternals too.
This version of Tiamat looks very much like Galactus. And Galactus...
Oh, I'm guessing they fucked up and they're like...
No. Galactus is a kind of humanoid man who absorbs powers. by eating. He absorbs power, but he eats planets to absorb their power, their life forces. I have this feeling this version of a Celestial is going to be a setup for Galactus, and possibly we're going to. I have a feeling that there's a reason why he looks like that for a reason. There's a
There's an
reason.
Eternals too, apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
Being written with Galactus in it, so.
Hey. I've had this theory for like a week and a half now, 2 weeks now, and here we go.
This has been done for fuck knows how long, because they've got a whole Marvel.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know this.
Galactus
I've just been sitting here thinking this,
sequel.
theorizing it up. So basically, what my theory was, I was talking to someone the other day about it, was the design for Tiamat looks very much like Galactus. Galactus was a humanoid human.
If they introduce all that, Marvel could end really quickly with all that shit, because nothing's stopping them.
Well, that's where I'm getting to. That's where I'm getting to.
They're gonna try and end it with everything just gone.
That's where I'm kind of leading to. There's a lot of movies they can actually still squeeze in to get to that point.
Yeah, but if everything's gone, it's gone.
This is where I'm getting to. So this is where I'm leading up. So Galactus could be the setup from Tiamat, because Tiamat looks like Galactus.
Tiamat, which means water. I think Tiamat's like water stuff, so I don't know why.
He's a water elemental kind of thing.
I think it's like aqua. I think.
Aqua. So that's why my theory is because Galactus is like a humanoid. I have a feeling it's going to be a character that's based on Earth, or it could be someone else. But he's always been humanoid, but he thrives off life force energy. So he eats planets to keep living and getting more power. The more planets he eats, the more power he consumes, the bigger he gets.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, he could take out the whole fucking universe.
Yeah, he just gobbles them up. And that's where the Silver Surfer comes in line. But my biggest thing is
who can fucking stop him though?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think I have a feeling that he doesn't exist yet. My presumption feeling is because Tiamat looks like Galactus. I feel someone's going to harvest his powers, absorb his powers,
and then make him.
And he becomes. That's why he looks. That's why Galactus has that look. Because he absorbs the Celestial.
Does he have
takes
the whole
on the ability.
Shoulder pads though? Oh, anything? Well, you can't see it.
You can't see half the stuff of what Tiamat looks like. All you see is the head has that big shape and the spikes, which looks very much like Galactus to me. Because when I saw that coming out, my brain immediately thought, why the fuck is Galactus coming out of the ground? Because it looks so much like Galactus. So I reckon that's why my assumption is being that someone's going to absorb that Celestial's powers.
It's a team at death, so he's probably dead.
And he's gonna become the Celestial.
Oh no, they didn't kill him. He remains crystallized, being a dreaming Celestial.
So what happens if someone was to
just waiting for the right moment to be born, so he can make a new sun? In the comics, he put Millionaire to sleep because he attacks Arishan.
So it is similar, but there are changes. So that's what I personally feel.
He's not Galactus, I don't think, though.
No. What I'm saying is, I feel like someone might steal leech his powers and become Galactus. One of the mutants.
But why'd he look like that then? If it wouldn't be,
it would be the narrative to make Galactus look like that. That's where they may go with.
But then again, they've changed the look of stuff from comics and that though in the Marvel. So
but that's why that's what I'm saying. That's why
choice.
I feel like that could happen, where someone might harvest powers from him and become him, kind of like. That's where one prediction I've had. So that's what I thought, because it kind of makes sense to design and everything and setting up Celestials.
Well, if they make another movie though, like the Eternals are done. Like
they're still no. Well, actually, no. It was today. No, it's becoming okay. It is left at the end of the film because there is another Eternals coming. The next one is going to be kind of like a Guardians of the Galaxy style film.
Yeah, but apparently he's got Galactus, so someone fucked up.
So it's going to be very Guardians of the Galaxy, because you see at the end.
What if Icarus's fault that Galactus is there?
Oh god! But
what if him like going to the sun done
no,
something?
that would actually no, not just that too. Actually, no, that would make sense. My brain didn't even think about this one. Galactus would be drawn to Earth because it didn't get destroyed, but now the energy of the Celestial has been awoken.
So high.
So the energy, so that's going to summon Galactus to come to the Earth. Actually, that might be the... I didn't even think of that. You maybe just think of that then. That even would be the next thing. So...
I mean, like...
and also, too... Actually, no, the other thing, too, actually, that would work, because the other reason being is the
But then
reason
he could get that
Galactus,
celestial too in all in one fucking go.
that could make him look like that as well. Because I was going to say Galactus can look like anything. He could look like a flying serpent if he wanted
Oh.
to. He can shapeshift.
So he can get the look from Tiamat and...
Yes, so that still senses to pass on because the reason.
Oh, so that Galactus isn't a default one in Fortnite or
No.
nothing then?
He can look like anything. He can shapeshift. The reason he looks like that because he is humanoid, but the reason he always takes that look on is because of humans. He looks like that because he wants to
blend in.
It's like a weird.
Not
Even though he's big,
blend
but
in,
like
but
it's the weird association
familiar.
thing. It's the familiarity kind of thing. But it's
Unlike Thanos, who looks like a fucking
testicle.
purple ballsack.
So so that's the other thing as well. I forgot about that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, why did he look like that when everyone else looks normal?
It's
Like, what happened to him? Like, even his brothers look human. Looks human. Like,
he is. Yeah.
he doesn't.
He's just a
what the
testicle.
fuck? Why is he?
I say
purple?
he's mostly part deviant, part eternal, most probably.
Like a mutated deviant.
Yeah.
But, maybe he was a deviant then. Really?
So that could be the thing as well.
Mostly
Corrupted.
deviant. Cause...
That's why he was very aware because he was corrupted.
Because he wasn't evil though, really.
No, not directly evil.
Like he didn't go around killing people for fun.
No, he was on a mission. He was on a set cause to try and do something
Which
without explaining.
Deviants are murderous assholes who kill everything.
So they
Eternals, they just
the movie
take
with
orders.
with that sense of when they were trying to combine to take down the Celestial, they do explain that they needed to combine their powers with 10 certain rings. Because each Eternal ship contains 10 Eternals. 10 Eternals for each planet.
Well, they're way down now.
So ironically enough, that's why the whole ending of Shang-Chi said that there was some encrypted coding and it had some weird stuff and they had to do more testing on it.
Yeah, well, that was we need your help.
Powers. Yeah.
Come with me.
So that was to show that they had connectional powers.
Where are they getting another?
That
6 Eternals from them. Isn't only like 4 alive or something?
I don't know, maybe they know. Maybe there's some I know. But yeah,
so 6 Eternals short.
Well, they originally had 10, so.
Yeah, but a lot of them died.
Yeah. No, well, that's why in this there's some still on Earth trying to help defend Earth, and there's those others that have gone out to search other Eternals to rally all the Eternals together to fight against the Celestials. Because they're trying to wake everyone else up from the whole daydream of things.
I just pictured Schwarzenegger as an Eternal. Like, can you imagine they bring like Schwarzenegger in as an Eternal? Like fucking Stallone.
The Celestials, but the Celestials have always been the light of the universe, the existence, the creation of the universe, kind of thing.
Yeah, then they're kind of needed, really.
And they needed to a sense because it leads into another character, which
they can make a sun and shit, like.
Well, the darkness they talk about, the void. Because we've already seen the one Celestial that's dead, which is the floating head, which is called Nowhere. That's a Celestial. That's a dead Celestial.
That's a planet from Guardians too, like Nowhere's an actual planet.
Well, because there's Ego, like Kurt Russell. He was a Celestial.
He was a massive head.
Yeah, he was a Celestial. He was the planet. Because his crystal actually embodied the whole planet. It did it differently. So and then that
didn't he die though?
Yeah. So they managed to kill him in a different sense, a different way.
Hey, a fucking regular human did that.
Well, he had powers because he's tech. But again, it shows you he was the son. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense to mutants now. That's how they're doing it. Okay, that makes sense. So remember how he was the son of Ergo, and how many other children he gave birth to, but because even though it showed his powers were slightly different, and once he killed Ergo, his powers disappeared, that might not necessarily happen to other children he had.
Yeah.
It might be different how it transferred because their powers were different. So that could be how a lot of the mutants get created as well, is because Ergo did his funky business and made too many mutants.
Oh, fuck me. I know why Thanos is purple.
Why?
He was born to 2 Eternals. His body carries the deviant gene.
Yes.
I fucking knew it.
So I was right, yeah. I can't remember some of the stuff because there's not a lot of it I got into. It's only mainly the Avengers and all the stuff, and I've had to do a lot more research.
The rest of his family is eternal, but like he's part deviant, so.
Yes, so there we go.
Which explains his strength as well.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I lost my train of thought. Where I was going.
Hey, I just guessed that and I was fucking right. Like, damn.
It's kind of obvious once you start pinpointing all the stuff. It becomes obvious.
Once I know what deviants are now,
It's kind
and
of
they can like
obvious.
go
It becomes very obvious of what's going
because they
on.
can take DNA. They can probably give it as well. So
Yeah. Well, look, like there's so much. What was I gonna say?
we're not giving necessarily, but people can take it. They wouldn't just give their DNA.
Because there's talk about the darkness in the universe. So the darkness in the universe is Null, which is Knull. He is the father to the symbiotes, the king of symbiotes. He's the creator. So
that's what Thanos has, a symbiote, deviant. Oh, he got deviant syndrome, not symbiote. Don't worry.
So that's why they always fear that the darkness exists within the universe, and the whole point of Celestials is to fight back the darkness, which is Null.
They really thought that out.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. That's what I'm saying. So there's
Null.
Null.
It's from comics to movie form, but like they really thought the movie stuff out a lot.
Oh god, yeah, they've got to really intertwine it to make sense. That's why there's set up because at the end, there's another end scene which sets up Blade coming in at the end, but there's we see hints of the Black Knight. Because what's his name from Game of Thrones, who's not Icarus?
Snow.
Snow, yeah, Jon Snow.
He's just a regular human, though.
He's set up to be the Black Knight. And
he's barely in that Eternals movie. Like,
he's gonna have a lead role, so he's set up to become a Black Knight. So the Black Knight sword. Do you see the Black Knight sword at the end of the credits? In a chest, you see it kind of live, which technically, when you look at it, it's technically like a symbiote sword. It's
like Venom.
Yeah. So technically, that's the only sword that.
So he can get the symbiote and it can combine and.
It's kind of like reason being is it's from what I remember. No one hold me to this because I'm trying to learn my knowledge, a lot of the extra knowledge because there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to learn still because it makes no sense who's what and what's who. Everything gets rewritten all the time. But basically, I think the sword was created by Null or someone of Null or something like that. Sword was created by them, but then the Black Knight had it. Or Spider-Man got it, I think it was, and got it for the Black Knight or something. Depending on the comic.
Yeah, he is the Black Knight. I just googled it and he is.
Yeah. Basically, the sword is the only sword that can harm Null, which Null is the darkness of the universe, which is the father of symbiotes, which is the setup for the symbiotes. But there's the reason being what's going on is the big bad in Thor: Love and Thunder, which is being played by Christian Bale.
Keen for that movie? That's gonna be the best Marvel movie.
So the bad guy in that, Gore, his name's Gore. He's the
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a fucking Celestial in Thor, I bet.
It's gonna be. Well, the biggest thing, the big baddie is Gore. The reason being where it's heading is Gore's...
And the Eternals in there as well, I bet, as well.
Most probably. But, okay, the biggest thing this is going to get you... Gore, the big bad that's in Thor: Love and Thunder, is the right-hand man to Null.
Who the fuck's Null again?
He's the father of symbiotes. Names.
Oh.
He is the darkness of the universe. He's the only character that could wipe out Celestials with a...
So pretty much the father of Venom?
Yeah. Venom was apparently his first child, basically.
Wouldn't Venom necessarily take out stuff like that because he is fucking powerful? Like Venom can do...
Like, Null, type in Null, Knull. Look up Null. He is fucking... he's like a vampire. Like, he's death. He is...
Null versus Sentry. Null versus Thanos. What the...
Yeah, so he's like insane looking. He's crazy looking.
No, just put in Marvel. No, cap lock off. Oh yeah, he looks like Craven, kind of.
Yeah.
What's with the fucking spider arms?
Mm.
Is he like a arachnid?
Oh, he's a symbiote. He's the father of symbiotes.
So Venom came from him,
yep.
Pretty much. Well, he made
Venom, and then Carnage comes from Venom, and
yeah, Carnage is way more powerful, isn't he, than Venom?
Because he mixed with
Spider-Man. No, yeah.
Carnage mixed.
How did he get red again?
What's his name?
Blood. Cassius.
Yeah, Cletus.
Cletus. I thought it was.
Because of
what did Cassius Clay?
Cletus. Yeah, he mixed with him. So it's pretty much spot on with the live-action movies. They've done pretty much close.
Hmm.
But yeah, so that's what I mean. There's a lot going on.
Although
So
his suit emblem looks fucking like a dragon.
yeah, the
These
web wrapped
wings
around.
with a curly tail at
It
the
looks
bottom.
kind of like a spider still. Like it's kind of
Looks
funny
like
how it looks kind of like the
Venom.
spider,
Like
but it's like a dragon.
he's
It's
got
like
like the
fuck.
freaking stripes,
Yeah,
but it's red on a black suit.
and it's like a dragonish
It's
kind
like
of thing.
it's like Spider-Man-y, but different
That's what I'm
thing.
saying.
Like,
There's a lot of setups going on. There's a lot going on for what the future of these movies hold, and a lot of these movies are going to be filler movies to just drag it out to like
that's what I
more
don't like about it.
setups.
They should just. There's way too many. Like they're just diluting. Like you've got to watch every fucking one. Makes sense.
Yep.
Like I'm fucking lost on the channels. I'm like, okay, I
That's why I
haven't
tell people to
seen
try and watch to
a lot
catch
of
up. It's
things.
like you've got to watch What If now and like the TV shows.
Yeah. Oh, I know what's going on without watching that, but I'm like, because I pay attention. But
Because a lot of stuff, the details that they're having in those is setups for, because that's what the whole multiverse thing. That's why they dropped What If, and then the whole multiverse thing's now been unraveling. So,
like, I somehow knew Thanos had deviant blood because he's purple.
I mean, we were talking about that,
Or
which made
deviant,
kind of sense. Which
deviant
it does sense.
genes.
Once you start catching on to narrative of
Mm.
it's kind of easy and understandable where they can go with it, because it's kind of even without reading comics or reading
Yeah, but
like,
also if Galactus involved, it's all fucking over.
oh, Galactus can easily be turned down. He's done it
Oh yeah,
many
but
times in
like,
the comics. There's many times he's come to the Earth and gone, no, 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 and it's like, okay, fine, and just flies away. And he comes
they
back
can
and he's
just
like,
say no.
I'm gonna come eat the planet again. So I was like, no, 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 no. I was like, oh, fine.
How
And
the
he's like,
fuck do you stop someone like that with going?
it's basically how they do it. Like the comics are
So
funny.
like the Eternals and their rules, like they can't interfere unless they're ordered to or something.
There's different moments. They just battle them, and
Like, how is that dude not a Eternal? The dude who can like possess people. He could have ended every fucking war.
so many times they could have.
He could have stopped a lot of shit, which would have in turn would have stopped
That's
the
why. That's why some of them got the shit.
Celestial.
So like, that's exactly it. That's exactly the point. They got once they realized like,
The
what the
Eternals
hell?
fucked everything.
That's what I'm saying. Once they realized what was going on, they're like,
like,
"Oh,
"Uh-oh."
we could have helped prevent this whole time." It's like we were the ones that were causing everything to speed up when we could have interfered. This whole rule about not interfering was all made up bullshit just to help.
Yeah,
feed
but now
them.
they know they can interfere. So
That's why they go out looking for more Eternals to help stop, like wake them up and help stop.
so technically, yeah, they're running out of stuff to do because once the Eternals get involved, superheroes are not needed.
Well, that's where it's leading into the mutants, and they can do all kinds of stories.
That's when like they can just Thor on that can just be like they can just go back and chill in Asgard and shit.
Anything can
Because
happen.
the Eternals they can't really die either, unless they get the Deviants or something to do it.
So there's going to be a big battle coming up. There's going to be
But even
one big
then,
battle.
they can smash Deviants because they were already doing that.
Like I said,
Like
we're
the
gonna,
one who
we're gonna
turned
get
to
to
a tree.
point. We're gonna get to a point. We're gonna see a big battle. We're gonna see some crazy nonsense
Like
happen.
that fucking the demon underwater just turned to a fucking tree. Like
Some weird moments. But I do like that scene though when they had that scene where when they first gave him the powers, when that deviant first stole the powers,
oh, with
where he
when he
sucked
turned
the
to
life
that
from up,
humanoid thing.
and then he plugged into the other deviants and then started giving them.
Oh, gave him more powers.
And they all shapeshift from like what they were. One became like the eagle. One became like the tiger. Kind of like they all came different. They became different things.
It was like what they the Eternals. It was the complete opposite of them. Because the fly one was Icarus. The tiger one was that fast zappy lady.
Yeah, like they're all like became different things, which was really cool. And then the main dude became almost like Ultron.
But Ultron wasn't bad though either.
No, exactly.
He just wanted what was best, but did the wrong thing about that.
I reckon when he was going through calculations, digging everything up, I think he was starting to realize what was going on. Maybe even.
He was trying to take out. Oh, he was trying to take a part of the world to get people off there, wasn't he? He fucking knew too. Hence why he just had no faith.
But in What If gets pretty brutal because you've got Ultron that actually did win and did get the body of did actually like if he created Vision like he was meant to get that body, you see how he becomes in that, and he becomes like a weird hybrid Vision Ultron with the body, and he just obliterates everything because he just kills everyone because he has the Infinity Gauntlet, he has all the powers.
That's what I don't get. Why didn't? I mean, yeah, he had the gauntlet, but like, I said, what's his name should have been able to get Thanos as well. Like,
Because like in What If, it's kind of funny because that scene in What If where you see Ultron going around obliterating everyone, he just goes up straight up to Thanos and just goes, and Thanos before he gets to say anything, he just cuts Thanos in half. He just lays it, and you see Thanos just fall in half.
that could have been done in the live action as well.
And then he takes the gauntlet and he's like, haha, I have the gauntlet now, and just starts.
Remember, they just sat there talking for fuck knows how long.
And what's that? He went through and then in the What If episode, he went through the whole universe and killed everything in the whole universe. And he goes, oh, it's too quiet now. This is Ultron. He goes, oh, I've just killed everything. You know, he goes,
Well, that's the point. You can't have the live action because you wouldn't have made a trilogy or nothing.
Yeah, he's like, I killed everyone. It's like, and then he realizes he can break through and see the Watcher, which he realizes there's an outer universe, and he breaks out to the Watcher.
Wouldn't he necessarily get rid of the Celestials as well? Really?
Yeah. Ultron could.
He's like the most powerful thing in the universe, really.
He basically does. He is the scariest. That's why we may actually see that come to a point where it may end with Ultron.
Well, not with current one. He's dead.
Well,
unless they get someone else. Yeah, but we'd be someone else's body,
body. But Ultron's still around kicking because we've got White Vision
it's
on
just
Rogue.
the main Vision just dead now. Like he's gone.
We've got White Vision on Rogue, trying to figure out his identity crisis.
Yeah.
We've got an Ultron head in storage that's still activated. Thanks to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
I know. I just hope they wrap up all these. I'm sick of Marvel movies now. Like, there's just so fucking many. There's got to be a point where you can't watch everything before the new one comes out.
It's more or less you've got to have been watching them already, and then you catch up from there. Like you can't just be like, oh, I've been watching these, I'm going to go watch them.
You can
now.
binge them, but there's 20 odd movies or so, like 30.
It's stuff to have already watched a few times and already have it memorized. That you kind of in general.
Like Ant-Man. There's Ant-Man 3 coming out. I can't remember the fucking first or second one because I've watched so many things.
I just think of old mate just fucking, hey, we're gonna do the display, and he just explains everything. That's what I loved about the second movie was when he's like explaining everything and then just doing everything while he narrates it.
Right. And then it's like, what?
Like everyone does, and I want it as well. I just want him to recap the whole fucking Marvel universe.
Like, where's Ant-Man in all this? He could be massive and just smash things. Well, not smash things, but he could like stall things.
Yeah, so
he's like the biggest asset to anyone because he can be very, very tiny and cause a lot of damage.
A lot of damage.
He can probably take down a Celestial.
But yeah, so
really?
There's a lot that's going to happen. So him being now that he's a super jacked god as well. He's super jacked, like.
Huh?
We've got Thor. I was gonna say we never got super jacked Thor. He could do so much now. And now we've got both. Actually, we've got two Thors technically.
I don't think Loki's in there either. I think he is actually dead.
Oh no, he's not dead.
In that universe, anyway.
Well, if it's part of the main universe, then he's not.
No, but there because he's not in the movie.
Well, he's not in the main universe. He's jumped over a different universe. So.
Yeah, but he's not in the Thor movie one.
Maybe not directly. No. We might see him at the end though. Show up again.
Can you jump like that without?
If you figured out a way to come back.
Not that you would though, because it's not him. He died, so it's another one who would have to.
No, it's technically the main. No, it's technically main Loki. So you gotta remember, we always had Loki, but not at the same memory point because he got.
Who the fuck was when he got his neck snapped?
So, what happened in the Loki series?
That was the real Loki. That was the.
In the Loki series, a version of him gets taken before he has his neck snapped. But that timeline has already happened, so the footage still exists in the timeline. But Loki was picked from.
You can't just put it back in, can you?
You can, because Loki is now aware of what actually happens because he watched his own footage of the rest of his life. So he saw the situations of what happened between him and Thor.
Yeah, it's dangerous to him to go back in because he knows what's.
Where he's at now, it's more dangerous not for him to go back because they're going to set up Kang, and Kang wants to destroy everything. Kang the Conqueror. That's why Loki's trying to get back to warn everyone about Kang. And in Loki, he ends up going to the wrong universe where Kang exists.
Kraven showing up, that's going to be a Spider-Man movie, doesn't it? Really?
So Loki wants to kind of get back. Loki wants to kind of get back to warn everyone about Kang, and everyone's going to be like, like Loki's back. So
maybe it'll be flash thing. Like he's there, then he's gone. Maybe like
Possibly.
this is gonna happen. See you.
So I feel like we might see him pop up at the end.
Because he can't fight for shit. Like he can't really. He can just.
He's learned a fair bit.
Yeah, but he can just. He's an information. He just knows things.
So yeah.
And likes to piss people off.
Oh well, he learnt a lot of powers. He learnt some new skills at the end of
Yeah, but he can't fight though. That's the thing. He can't really toe to toe.
Yeah, not even necessarily toe to toe, but his manipulation skills and stuff like that.
But you see what he did against Hulk.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Hulk's not even that fucking strong in this big scheme of things.
So
Like Thor can technically fuck him up. So can Captain America.
Yeah.
Or could.
Yeah. But
there's
so much we could talk about that for another day because this is going to go on for way too long. We've now over the 2 hour mark.
2 hours. Yeah.
So I want to wrap this up. I want to wrap this up now before we get too caught talking about this. This is something we could talk about. If you guys like this spoiler stuff, we can make this as a separate segment. If you guys want this stuff. But yeah, Jim, I think we'll.
What do you mean that they go for so long? That's just meant to be about the Eternals, but it went way beyond the Eternals.
So yes, we'll do that. We might have some extra content if you're down for that. We can do some other content after this and get that up on the YouTube as well.
I've got so many tabs open right now.
We can do that in a sec. So I think we'll wrap up the podcast now for this week. Leave it to Jim as always to roll us out.
Yes, but man, what a fucking episode though.
Woo.
But yeah, we're in spoilers at the end. That's how we like to do it. But yeah, thank you Beardies and Beardettes for joining us on episode 6. Oh, season 3, episode 6.
Yep.
And it's glorious Saturday evening, morning, nearly. But as always, we've been Dale and Jim, and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah, what he said. Goodbye.
Fucking hell.
Oh god.
I didn't mean to go. We went for like a whole fucking.
Yeah, that's why I was like. Yeah.